guns, an alarm system, and a dog. I'm good.
Okay, let's see. Does Rumble know who we are now? It does. Look at there.
Is it working?
Well, it looks like it's working.
Let me see.
Yep.
Pulling it up on my phone.
Yep, it's working.
Yeah, buddy.
Yay.
And that works out because guess what? The purple pill is broken again.
Look at there. So, use the live streams for chatting if you don't want to actually chat.
If you don't want to voice chat, that is. Otherwise, we'll give you a microphone. Want one? Talking to you, Bob. If you want a microphone, you can have one.
Yeah, Bob. Anywho.
Where is everybody?
Right? Didn't we have like...
I'm going to text Truth.
How many RSVPs do we have?
13.
Quite a bit. Yeah. Where's 13 people? I don't see them. Here's Banner.
Yeah, Banner. I'll throw my microphone.
You said, "Where is everybody?" And I appeared like an evil gypsy. I don't know how else to describe it. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Dude, you missed it last time. We actually went way down the H1B rabbit hole.
Oh man.
I know. I was like, where the fuck's
you
Banner?
Missed it.
I've been so on it today too. I mean, the statement this past week really pissed me off from Trump. I mean, it really did.
Yep.
I don't know how else. I don't know. I mean, you guys. I'm sure when you guys heard that, you guys went, "That's going to piss Banner off."
Oh no, that absolutely pissed me off. Like I was, I ain't playing that game.
Here's the deal. I feel like maybe that is a little bit of card playing, right?
Maybe.
I think it's I think we're playing poker is what's going on with that. I'm unhappy about it, very unhappy about it. But I've been unhappy about that for years. So, what's another few months?
Yeah.
You should play your rant.
I should play my rant.
Yeah.
Oh, give me a sec.
I know you've got it.
Did you make a song?
No,
No.
I went on a rant about the H1Bs last week.
You need me to find it for you?
Oh, you went full Banner is what happened.
Yes, I did. Yep. Find it real quick.
Where do you want me to send it, Zippy? The link?
I guess you can try chat and see if that works, or Discord either.
Hey, the pill's not open for me, y'all.
Yeah, the pill broke.
Nope, it broke. It likes to break.
So if you grab the space and repost it, I think Jinx has to do it. If she just grabs it, reposts it, and then drops a comment in it, it should open it up.
I can try.
Because if it's not on your feed and you haven't commented in it, then I've noticed what restricts those purple pill comments.
Yeah. How long is my rant? My rant's pretty long, ain't it?
No.
It's not a rant. It's a blueprint. I think we established that. All right, let's see if I can actually play back into my fucking mic.
Right.
So
looks like it did not
fix got me pissed off. Now let me state my fucking piece here. First of all, we're not saying take the people off of the unemployment and put them directly into making missiles.
A little low.
We're saying, how about some underemployed engineers? I might be one of those that can't get paid more because I'm competing with fucking H1Bs that don't need to be paid more. Take them, put them up, move them up where they should be, making the missiles, right? And then take the people off the unemployment line and put them in the entry level and the mid-level engineering positions. Oh god damn! I don't know how he's so blind on this, but it pisses me the fuck off. So that's part that got me pissed off. Now let me. There you go.
Well, that's honestly, Sippy, you hit the nail right on the head. And I made the post today, and feel free to scroll my feed because it was a while ago. But I made the post today saying we need to prune the fucking tree. At the end of the day, we've got a lot of H-1Bs here that have skill sets and are taking jobs away from American workers that have those same skill sets. So send every one of those back that is competing with an American worker, every single one that is competing with an American worker, send them back. But I'll tell you what, every one of those that is not competing with an American worker and provides competitive advantage, real provable competitive advantage to a company, I'm okay with keeping those people. But that is a 10th of a percentage of what we have today.
Absolutely.
It's a big effing problem, man. I mean, I manage engineers, app devs. Yeah, it's a big problem. We have a lot of people culturally who are not a fit. Where you could bring an American worker in would be an absolute fit. They would just cost a little bit more money. So that's why companies don't want to do that. I mean, we can go off on the H-1B thing all day long. I've got 1,000 different scenarios I can tell you about where the H-1B worker has taken a job away from an American worker. There, maybe not 1,000, probably like at least 50 that I can think of off the top of my head that I have direct experience and knowledge of.
I don't want to wait on more people to get in here before we drop our little nugget.
I know. Repost the space if you haven't. I could not get the pill to fix, so sorry about that. It's just.
I'm trying to repost the space, but I can't repost it without the pill.
Let me throw.
Should be pinned on your profile,
up
isn't it?
into the Jumbotron. There, you can use that up in the Jumbotron.
Oh, look who finally decided to show up.
Hey, can
He
you
said
hear
his computer working. Yeah.
Awesome.
There he is. Been a while. How you doing, Truth?
Too bad. How about you, Banner?
Another day, man. Another day. Got to figure out how to deal with Monday. It's going to be a real strategy.
Don't we all?
Me more than others, but had a fun Friday knockdown, drag out argument with my boss. Those are always fun.
Oh, those are a blast.
Yeah, I'm going to be the bigger man and come at him on Monday with the right moves.
Probably a smart idea.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Fuck work.
Yeah, right?
Yes. I concur completely.
My first time using a laptop for space, I'm trying to figure out how to scroll to the space.
You're not used to doing it on a computer?
Nope, just my phone usually.
Is that Lauren with a hand?
Yep.
I don't know. It's a black circle for me.
It says, can you hear me? Because it says the connection was lost.
Oh, God.
You're a little robot-y.
Can you hear me?
You're a robot.
Sounds like she's talking in a porta potty or something.
It says
She might be.
connection was lost. Well, I'm not a porta potty, but I could be in the night. You never know.
It almost sounds like a jab that her Wi-Fi connection is shit.
No, so can you hear me or not? So what is your concern, Sippy? We were talking about AI. We were texting earlier or DMing earlier about AI. What is your concern about AI with it and combined with these visa workers? Sippy, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
He's eating.
I'm speed eating.
Watching him stuff his face.
Yep. If y'all would like to also watch me stuff, if streams going. Anyways, you're talking about AI mixed with the H-1Bs, basically. What you're saying?
I think that's what she's going for, yeah.
Well, AI is a very dangerous tool, mainly because it lies a lot, which we just ran into with somebody claiming they found some shit on Epstein
Gotta go
files
in and out,
like,
Sippy.
what? You're going in and out.
That's what she said.
That
Hello?
is what she said. Am I going in and out to you, Jinx, or is it just truth?
You sound great to me.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. All right. So,
Going in and out for me.
Well,
because
that's
you
you.
suck.
Shut up,
That's
Truth.
a you problem. Fuck, where was I? Oh, super dangerous because AI lies a lot. Like I said, me and Jinx just were dealing with somebody that's like, oh, I found this huge bombshell in Epstein files that all these emails are fake. I got the metadata. I got Grok to get it. I'm like, bruh. First of all, Jinx is like, all the emails are pictures. You ain't getting no metadata from that, which is true. You're not getting any metadata from frickin' pictures.
Not email metadata.
Not email metadata. Yeah, I guess I should be very specific about that. You can get metadata from pictures, just not email metadata, like the actual headers and stuff. Unless it's in the text, you ain't seeing it, right? Either way it goes. Which I don't really know why they don't provide the headers, but I guess it is what it is. Cause a lot more redactions. Anyway,
Well, I
so
think this is part of the whole manipulation behind AI. I mean, I'll say it once, I'll say it 1,000 times and beat it like a dead horse. There's a reason all these global elitists with these billions of dollars have been building AI hand over fist, and they've been spending every fucking dime that they can to put it in every technology that we have. It's because they want to get us, when all this stuff comes out to light, to second guess it, right?
Hello?
yep, Truth, you're here. We can hear you.
Fuck.
Is he back?
I don't know. I
He
don't
might
think
be.
he knows.
I see Joe down there in the listenership. I've seen him in
Up,
other
Joe?
spaces. I like Joe.
Yeah, Joe's cool.
I threw him a mic.
Yeah, I was actually on his thing Friday. His little live stream. If you haven't watched it, it's really cool. It's called The Grand Jury. It's actually really cool.
Yeah, I'll never want to be involved in his night court, but I do respect it.
Yeah, I mean, it was fun. It was fun. I was on it. Sarah Fields, Southern FFA. There's a bunch of
You're
us.
talking about, to be perfectly frank, you're talking about some people that I've gotten into some run-ins in past and spaces. So
Yeah, and then Lone Wolf, and I don't know. There was a bunch of us. There were 7 of us. But yeah. Anywho, I guess Joe. Yep, there's Joe. What up, Joe?
and we got facts from the other night.
Yep, facts.
I threw him a microphone too. I don't know if he wants to take it.
What up, Joe? Or is that a hand? I'm assuming. I see a
Can you hear
black
me?
circle.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to be
Truth, which
polite.
microphone? You're killing me.
The fuck?
Just mute him.
Yo, what's up, band? You don't want to be a part of my show? Kind of hurt my feelings a little bit. Stung a little bit. Why?
Man, I don't like court. That's the deal. I like to stay the hell away from court.
Man, it's grand jury game show style. We drink, we have fun. You should do it. You'd have a good time with it.
Never been a fan of anything related to the law.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna start stalking you DM now that I know that you don't want to do it. I'm gonna convince you to do and be on.
All right, here we go.
Yeah,
Here we
it's
go.
Can't do it with
happening.
me, Banner.
It's happening. Campaign starts now.
Yeah.
You gotta get Gadsden in then too. You get Gadsden, you'll get me. That's what happens.
Yep. Jinx
Making notes.
Jinx is trying to get on too. I think Friday, Joe?
They're working on
Yeah.
finding a date for me.
There you go.
Yeah, I think we're full this Friday and possibly out to Black Friday if Fax and his gang, Sassafras and all, will agree to do it then. But first week of December's looking pretty good. But Band, you could be on with Jinx. We could build a grand jury out like that. I mean,
There you go.
I don't know. I got a thing against blue hairs.
There you go.
Just don't put Sippy and me on the same week because you're just going to end up with 2 Sippies.
Yeah, pretty much.
you know what? I gathered that in the show when you made the post. I'm dying to see what if Sippy's thinking the same way I am. And then he came out with a gun slid under the seat.
Yeah,
I was holding that. I don't know if I told you this, Sippy, but I was holding that back. That was going to be the final 3 minutes. It's like, what if the gun it wasn't in the back seat originally, that the guy was getting out because he thought the gun was there, but it slid to the front. And Mississippi's like, well, the gun looked to me like it was in the back seat. It slid under the front. It's like, this motherfucker here got me.
See what I mean? See what I mean?
Yeah.
No, Sippy always needs to go last because otherwise he's going to ruin it for everybody else.
I learned it. Thank
You should go the same way for me. Sorry.
And I'm making a note for you too. You will be last called on when it gets to the jury.
Sippy, we call each other our twins, even though we're not related in any way, shape, or form, because we are essentially the same person.
Never even met in real life.
I'd never seen Sippy around. FFA kind of brought him to the group, but pretty happy to know him. We got to meet him a little bit in the after party. Infantryman and pretty sharp tech. I'll give you some creds.
Cheat.
Yeah, he's a good one.
Oh, yo. Okay. I think we probably have enough in here right now. You want to drop the bombshell? It's a good one. It's a bombshell, but it's also kind of a teaser because we're actually going to do a full expose on it.
Yeah. So a lot of you already know that Sippy and I do a lot of investigative work, and we like to dig through government file drops. So we've been digging through the Epstein email drop.
Like is a very relative term.
We found some really interesting information, and y'all know how Elon said that Bannon was in the files? Bannon's in the files.
Badly.
A lot.
A whole lot. Like a lot.
He's like a third of this freaking email drop. It's
literally
insane.
Up to an hour before Epstein got arrested?
Yep.
Yeah. It's going to be a very interesting one to put out there because Bannon was all up in the middle of all that shit.
Well, was it, and I'm kind of curious, was it more on a journalistic front or was it more on a trying to cover shit up front?
They were more of a buddy kind of thing, is what it seemed like.
Yeah. Very good friends.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little teaser.
I think that's a quote. Actually, very good friends.
I was let me pull up the specific one.
Yeah.
So this is a text message from Epstein to Bannon, June 28th, 2019. So a little over a week before he was arrested. Now you can understand why Trump wakes up in the middle of the night sweating when he hears you and I are friends.
Yeah. That's one of them.
Yeah.
From Epstein to Bannon?
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That matters a lot.
Yep. But he got some stuff came from him too. So yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot. I mean, we're not done. There's still so much to go through. Because the first time I pulled them, I just pulled the image files and I was thinking, oh, well, this is only like, 2,000 pages, but it's not 20,000. What are you talking about? Well, then I pulled the text files. The text files are 25,000 pages long.
So to be the devil's advocate, quite literally in the sense, just understand, and I hope you guys understand this before you release it, and I'm sure you do because you both seem like very intelligent people, that in order to play with fire, sometimes you get burned. Does that make sense, what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
The same way that our current administration is playing with a specific couple of groups.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, can I get co-host back?
No.
Maybe.
Who are you?
All I'm saying is try to understand the context as best as you can, and I'm sure you guys will.
Oh yeah, that's why we haven't put anything out yet because I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I've got 11 screenshots of just Bannon conversations.
And I'm not a pro Bannon guy. I'm not any of this. I'm just saying Bannon's done a lot for the cause. Yeah. He does deserve kind of a little bit of due diligence, if that makes sense.
Oh, absolutely.
Oh yeah. No, that's why we hadn't put it out yet.
Yeah. We want to make sure that we got as much of the actual story as we can before we truly put anything out.
Hey, Jinx.
Yeah.
Isn't that Dr. Reed a person, a hardcore liberal? Hey, I work as that account.
Yeah, I tried offering the
Yeah.
microphone. I don't know if they'll take it. Come on, Dr. Rito.
Dr. Rita.
Read it fast, Truth.
I just like that Dr. Rita's hair looks like Starburst.
Yeah.
Read it
Does-
fast in Goliath's accent.
There you go.
Did she leave or you kick her?
No,
No?
no. I took the microphone.
You got a mic.
Oh, I see it now.
Anyways, read it really fast. Read the name fast in Goliath's accident. Or in Goliath's accident. Accident.
Well,
What
there
the
was an
fuck?
accident, but don't read it in that. Read it in his
Yeah.
accent.
Yeah. Don't be screaming. You're not doing it, are you, Truth? He's just laughing. Truth doesn't realize
was
we're talking
laughing.
to him. You don't realize we're talking to you? Read the name.
No, I don't.
Read the name fast in Goliath's accent.
Dr. Rita did.
That's not Goliath's accent, but
What, a Boston accent?
Yes.
Dr. Rita did.
all right.
Okay, that sounds Russian.
You'll get it. You'll get it eventually.
Oh, Truth, what am I going to do with you?
Oh,
I don't know.
I think we need to reach out to RF and let him find Truth.
I think you're right.
Is that I don't know whose hand, if there's any hands up, so y'all are gonna have to do that because all I get is a black circle because I have it popped
You
out.
still keep me around, so.
It's because you're entertainment. Joe, I don't know if your hand is still up from earlier or if it's a new hand. If it's a new hand, you can go ahead and go.
No, it must be hanging up. No hand up.
Okay.
Start. It happens.
Yep.
Oh.
But anyway,
yeah, I will tell you when it comes to the files, one of the first things I did was search Clinton. There's so much stuff in there that has Clinton's name because there's freaking books in there.
Full books.
Like full on books, multiples.
Not excerpts. The entire damn book. Yeah.
Yeah, like 150, 200 page books.
Yeah.
But the only thing that I've found substantive that's outside of the books essentially exonerates Clinton from being on the island. But still digging. So
yeah.
Just putting that out there.
And now he was on the flight logs. We get it.
Yeah.
But was he ever actually on the island? I don't know. As far as we can find.
That is
so
the
far.
question.
As far as we found
we
so
ever
far,
know?
we haven't seen anything.
Maybe. We'll have to see what happens.
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd hold my breath though.
Well, do we even know who raided the island? Do we know what government entity even raided the island?
I don't know.
That's my point. Like we can't get any of this information until we know what entity actually raided the island, and then once you have that information, you can start walking it back by a FOIA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know if we actually know the entity.
What was it even a U.S. government entity?
Well, I mean, it would have to be because it's a U.S. territory.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Virgin Islands.
I thought that was the whole.
Virgin
Okay, it
Islands.
is the U.S., but it's the U.S. Virgin Islands, Little St. James.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Did not know that. Okay.
Yeah. If anyone else wants a microphone, just request. It's open mic. Till I run out of spaces. It's really just anything goes. We just wanted to drop some little teasers for you guys on what we're working on.
So really, that could have fallen in the scope of the FBI because it's semi-domestic, not necessarily the CIA. Correct?
Yeah, it should have been the FBI, I think.
No, the CIA has no investigative authority. No law enforcement. It would have to be FBI or some title authority, but CIA does not have authority to do that.
It was raided by the FBI per NBC News on August 12th, 2019.
So the FBI should be fully FOIA-able in that regard.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean,
Besides
they're going to
what-
redact.
Exactly.
Well, it's really funny because they redacted some shit and then left it wide ass open in other areas if you just keep looking. And it's like, bro.
Well, even a deposition of a minor, they redacted her name except for in one spot.
Yep.
Well, and the James O'Keefe video that came out after the raid had occurred, and somebody was able to provide video of the island after that occurred. That's crazy to me. That's a leak that should be prosecuted unless it was an intentional leak by the administration.
Yeah, who knows? And I did put out a thing on an email that included mentioning Biden, which I found really interesting. I'll throw that post up in the Jumbotron. Let's get to it.
But we've been
Sleepy
digging.
Joe.
We've been digging a lot. A lot.
Yeah.
And it looked like, from what I saw, Epstein was basically trying to dig up dirt on Trump the whole fucking time so he could use it, is what it looked like. So far. Getting there. I'm going to report what I find, though. Okay. None of this.
Yep.
Ain't
Well,
bulletproof.
if you were Epstein and you thought that Trump may become the next president of the United States, what would you do? You'd be scheming every which way that you could if
this
you're
is-
a power,
this was
dealer,
while-
broker.
Yeah, this was while he was president. I'm pretty sure. Pretty
Yeah,
certain.
you'd be doing
Yeah.
everything you can though to scheme and gain power.
Yeah.
Especially if you're one of the world's most renowned power brokers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and he absolutely was a power broker. He had connections all over the world,
Yep.
political leaders, all kinds of things.
Oh, and it's not really.
I just
surprising.
wonder what intelligence agencies he was involved in. Was it our own? It had to have been to some extent. Which ones? And then did it also include foreign intelligence? That's really the element that I'm looking for.
I know.
I mean,
Jinx.
it would be like literally insane to think that if he had CIA connections, that he didn't also have Mossad contacts.
Yeah, it's a big fucking problem though, isn't it? I mean, do you see where this is starting to go? It's not good.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. I'm not sure what's actually going to come of the, the House vote this coming week on releasing files and everything. I mean, the Trump administration already had the DOJ appeal to the court in Florida to try to get the grand jury stuff, and Florida said no. So it's not like Trump isn't trying to get stuff out.
I mean, I feel like even with legislation, they're going to try to wiggle around it due to elements of national security and those sorts of things as much as they possibly can. Even with it concerns me because even legislation, I don't think can pull these kind of details out at this point.
Yeah. I mean, it's just legislation's not.
It's going to take. It's going to take like an act of like a Snowden or somebody of the like.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you're not wrong. And because I don't think legislation in any way, shape, or form is going to actually do anything.
Well, they've tried to legislate so many different things, and how many of those have actually come to fruition about releasing intelligence to the American people? Absolutely zero of them.
Yeah. Literally zero.
None of them.
Frustrating.
I mean,
It really is.
they can declassify all the stuff that's like that the FBI has, but anything that's sealed court documents, you're not gonna be able to get anything out of that.
9/11, JFK, fuck, even Pearl Harbor. There's still classified information about that. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
But don't worry, they declassified Amelia Earhart.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Right.
Who was asking for that? Like literally, who was asking for that?
Well, I think it's the trickle of information. It's the education thing, right? I mean, there's dovetails with Amelia Earhart. There's a reason that it was released, and it's because again, it dovetails into a lot of these other stories.
Well, I hadn't looked at it, but
To answer your question, Sippy, I think it was a single historian woman, like in North Carolina or something.
oh wow. Yeah. I was gonna say I hadn't heard anybody asking for those files like at all.
Well, it turns out that Amelia Earhart was working for the CIA overseas and several other intelligence agencies, gathering information for World War II.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Adam.
Pretty-
You got your hand up.
Yes, thank you. Here's the thing with these institutions. Once they're captured and you don't get in unless you're captured, it's like joining the mob. You can't come in as an innocent virgin with no crimes under your belt, you got to have something they have on you. So that being said, anybody you see now, I don't care if it's Donald Trump or Joe Biden or whoever, they've been let in because they are captured. We need to recognize that.
Is there a way to feign that you're captured without actually being captured is the question. And I think that's what you're seeing POTUS do. So I think this is hey, let's capitulate as much as possible until we can't capitulate anymore.
Oh yeah, Trump is so captured. He took a bullet to the ear. Yeah, he's so captured.
Oh yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. This is what I'm trying to say. Is you have to understand that the enemies working against POTUS, we all know this, are very strong, very powerful. They have a lot of different means. Those means come from every angle that you could possibly imagine within his own administration, within the mainstream media, within public opinion, all of those things, right? And so what are you going to do? You're going to lie in wait like a snake in the grass until it's time to bite. That's
right.
what POTUS is doing.
Yeah, he's a saint. They let him in because he's so pure. And assassination, you don't think they don't assassinate their own? Have any of you ever heard of the mafia? You don't think they send warnings? You don't think the Dawn gives you a beating? This is the way it works. Little messages.
Well, I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand. Is it Adam?
He was stepped down and like Kamala win. You do realize that, right?
Well, I want to understand where Adam's coming from. I want to, without shouting, because I have a loud microphone, I know.
Yeah.
Adam, where are you coming from, man? I'm just trying to understand your full picture here.
I'm saying you're not in the club unless they want you in the club. You don't there are no outsiders in there. Forget about this Spartacus figure. Forget about this Jesus, this Messiah. There ain't none. If you're in that club, you're in that club, and they're a nasty.
Now let me ask you this question, Adam. All right, I appreciate the clarity. Let me ask you this question. Can you join the club with intention of destroying the club? Is that a possibility?
Or taking it over. Again, as we've seen, it's not hypothesis, it's reality. Whether it's mob wars or, within the Soviet Union, Stalin and Lenin, there's always power grabs. There's always somebody hungry. There's always, another wolf coming up in the pack. So that doesn't absolve Trump to make him a better wolf. He's just another wolf in the pack.
Gotcha. Well, and to each their own. I understand where you could have that assumption. I think that there's a little bit of kind of the wolf devouring from within. I think that he knows the wolf's tactics. He knows how the wolf pack operates, and he's become the alpha of the pack. And now he's able to turn that pack in the direction that he so fits. Now, is that the direction the direction that we want? And I think that's the argument that you're making, Adam, and it's a valid argument. Sorry, is that Joe with a hand? I don't want to be the guy that calls hands. Not my space.
I think Joe's hand is broken.
Yeah, Joe's hand's broken.
Well, yeah, my hand was that was actually a valid hand. My hand's not
Oh, wasn't it? It's never gone
It's
down.
been up the whole time.
Yeah.
Has it been up the whole time?
Yeah.
I thought his hand was getting tired.
My apologies. No, my question is, who is they? Which I don't understand who the they is in the story.
Well, they is the club, right? I mean, they is the global elitists. I mean, I think that's that's the they we all. It's the big they. I don't know how else to say it, Joe.
It's a broad term, to be honest.
I know, but the problem is they have been running our government for a very, very, very long time. They are the rhinos. They are the corrupt Democrats. I don't have a name for it. Dinos, whatever you want to call them. Democrats in name only.
Well, Schumer is old as dirt, so he's a dino.
at the end of the day, you have an entire government, or you have, I should say, the majority of a government that is actively working against the interests of the American people. How did that happen? That is the infamous day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fine.
I understand that. All right, Adam, you have your hand back up. Go ahead.
Yeah, to the point there. The Roman Empire was not a thing. It was many emperors and many goals, but it existed for over 1,000 years, and it was still the Roman Empire. So when we say they, we mean a thing, a movement. It's not a man, it's not a motive. It's what this power, this thing desires. And it's greater and it's larger than just time or one man.
Is world domination. I mean, at the end of the day, you know it, I know it. If Hillary won in 2016, they would have exercised world domination upon us, the likes of which the world has never seen before. You would have had bugs in every single food item that you purchased in the supermarket. Everything would have been subsidized. You'd be driving an electric car right now because you'd be forced to. You wouldn't have an electric, or I'm sorry, you wouldn't have a gas stove in your house because they would force you to move to electric, because all of their cronies and all of their friends run the power grids and own the lithium mines and the electric car companies.
Exactly. Look at the Soviet Union. Stalin, Brezhnev, Gorbachev. They were all the
Exactly.
same. They all supported the same beast. The beast was the Union. And so the leader doesn't really matter. They come and go. They off them if they need them to. But
well, it's really it's a socialized industry. That's the real problem. I mean, at the end of the day, you have a certain group of elitists that control certain elements of the economy, and they're trying to direct the entire world into their elements of the economy that they control, and that is a huge problem for me. Like lithium-ion batteries. I'm not buying an electric car because the the lithium ion battery is fucking garbage. It is a piece of shit technology. It takes 1,000 years to charge. It has to be replaced after 7 years of use. It has a certain limitation on charge cycles. You know what? My fuel tank doesn't have a limitation on fuel cycles. My fuel tank doesn't have, a long time to fill up. So I've got a diversity available to me with, different energy sources, and the Democrats want to push you towards a single one. The global elitists want to push you towards a single one. And that single one is the single solution that they provide, that their friends are all invested in, the Nancy Pelosi investitureship. And that's all lithium ion battery, EV technology. Show me a sodium ion powered vehicle. Show me a vehicle, a hydrogen powered vehicle that's powered off of air, and now we might be talking. Show me something that I can charge up in 5 minutes and it's not going to cause a fire hazard for the nearest half mile if it catches fire. There's a lot of problems with lithium ion, and they direct you to these terrible technologies.
Speaking of solution, sorry to cut you off, but Adam, you say all this, all the world's ending, this, that, no hope. What's your, I guess, I'm trying to think. What's your solution to the problem? This big uniparty, this big establishment, only lets people in for this, that, and the other, and no hope of an outsider getting in. What's your solution?
That was a question to you, Adam.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, sorry. Who said there was a solution? You ever hear of the Alamo? Sometimes.
So what do you do? Just lay down, beg, and give up?
No, I said the Alamo.
Yeah, they
Sometimes
fought
you
until
just
they
have
died.
to fight and die. There is no other choice. It's your back against the wall. It's how you go out that matters.
So advocate for
You're
World
not
War
going to
III
change.
in the country.
Well, Adam, you're talking about a war that has no
Civil
end there.
war.
Just fighting to die for no reason. That doesn't make sense to
That's
me.
stupid.
No, well, you know what? Sometimes it comes upon you. You can say that, oh, we're going to overcome, we're going to win, but history proves you wrong.
That's
Sometimes
tough kind of screen.
Sometimes your back is put up against a wall, and that's all you have is to stay and fight. You don't get a choice. There is no tomorrow. If you think you've always got a tomorrow, you're not being realistic.
Yeah, but if you think you're going to fight, and if you think that by fighting you're going to die, that's also not realistic. There's a good chance that by fighting you will live, you will survive, you will thrive.
Maybe, but there's also the point that if you're going to die, you make a stand. That's the point of drawing a line in the sand.
I think we lack that as a society. We lack men that are willing to fight and die for what they truly believe in. That is absolutely accurate.
Yes.
Hey, there's
I'm
a
going to go to
saying.
PBR because he's had his hand up for a while.
One click.
Yeah, I don't know. The topic kind of shifted since then. I mean, I think obviously.
I can bring it back. It's fine.
Okay, yeah. I mean, I think it's insane to me that we live in a country where you can have like political action committees, lobbying groups, and all that, where like politicians aren't acting on the will of the people, but rather like who's giving them the most money. I mean, maybe it's too much of a normie take. I think we got to look at that first too. I mean, it's also like
Oh, it's
complacency.
disgusting.
Yeah, no, yeah, but like people are also too scared of primary incumbents. I don't understand it. It's like it's the fucking stupidest thing to me, man. That name recognition can win you an election. They don't look at what you're doing, all that. And that goes for either side, by the way. When you have people
That's
that aren't
money, though. That's money. That's penetration. That's sponsorship. And
that's the problem, man.
the
I feel
with primaries specifically, that's a number one issue, because what happens is you get one primary candidate who gets a shitload more money from special interest funding in their campaign over all the rest of the primary candidates, and they're not able to generate that name recognition.
no, absolutely. Like that's what's crazy to me. I think that's what broke Rome too. It's the rich people, or not necessarily the rich. I'm not trying to go on some anti-Catholic because I'm not fucking anti-capitalist. But you know what I mean? The fucking oligarchs running the country, not acting in the interest of the will of the people, and the whole country effectively going broke. It's insane. It's what's happening to us right now.
Well, it's because it's a popularity contest right now, and it doesn't really have anything to do with what the candidate's actual values are. That's a number one problem I have with the GOP right now, is it's primarily a popularity contest. Like you said, name recognition. Who has the most recognizable name? Whose name's been propped up the most by your favorite social media influencers on the right on this platform? Right. And that's what you're looking for. That's what I'm not going to lie. That's what I'm looking for, because I'm not educated in a lot of these local areas. And it's because I'm not taking the time to educate myself. And that's where we fail on the right. We need to take our time to educate ourselves in those areas, even that are not our local areas, so we can start promoting those values, promoting those candidates that exhort those values.
No, absolutely. No, totally, I get you. And like honestly, yeah, I'll admit to that too. I wasn't very well researched in it too. Like it doesn't really matter where I live at, who I vote for. Democrats are pretty much always gonna fucking win. So, but no, I'm
Where are you at?
like I'm in Cook County, Illinois. Like I'm not in
Oh,
Chicago.
well, you're talking. I was raised in Illinois, man. I know all about it.
Yeah.
You're talking. That's cronyism on another level.
Well, it gets me too. All these Democrats are bitching about Texas gerrymandering or whatever. Like, have you looked at our fucking state, dude? Holy shit.
Oh, it's fucked. I mean, you're talking about JB Prickster. He's total crony. He's got a bunch of friends in the construction firms that all run, Plody Construction, that runs construction up and down 90 and 290 and 295. They're all in Prickster's hands.
Oh, for sure, man. And it gets me too, because both my grandparents I live with, man, they tell me, they think he's like the second coming of Christ, man. I really don't fucking get it, because he established a state.
Your grandparents are old Chicago mobster cronyists. promoters. It's the city that works, and a lot of people have become complacent with how it worked over all of those years. Except the problem is that shifting. That's been slowly shifting away from the mob cronyists over to, and this is what's going to sound really weird, the Democrat globalist cronyists, and that hand has been slowly taken away from them. Perfect example of that is the South Side. Second example of that, Mayor Johnson, right? That used to be a Daley seat. Daley, very in with the Chicago mob. Flipped to Johnson, okay? Or actually went to Lori Lightfoot, Beetlejuice herself.
Right.
And then Johnson, right? But how did it sell out is the question you have to ask yourself. How did it sell out? It's because at some point, the mob got overran by the Democrat machine in Chicago. It used to be the city that works. Now it's the city that doesn't do shit.
The city that collects welfare, dog. It's fucking nuts. I don't know what the hell. I don't know what the honestly. I don't even look into what they're doing all that much because I can't take all the fucking. I don't know.
Part of it has to do with they've been earmarked a shitload of tax money from the rest of the state. So I went to school in the southern part of the state, and there was a big issue when I was down there. It's basically the rest of the state of Illinois is being regulated to deal with Chicago, right? So there's a lot of regulations that the rest of this and taxes that the rest of the state of Illinois has that the city of Chicago gets grandfathered out of in a lot of ways. So the rest of the state is paying for the city of Chicago.
Right, exactly. And what the fuck have they even done with that money, man? I have seen no major improvement. They're redoing a couple roads, but
No, it's all cronyism. They're all lining their own pockets with every dime that they get. They're giving it to their own friends that own those companies that are getting those city government contracts.
I'm gonna hit some hands again. So PBR, is your hand still actually up, or is it just hasn't been put back down yet?
no, I don't even see it up on my screen, so I'm done talking.
Okay. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Adam and then Corey.
Adam.
Yeah,
Go ahead, Adam.
sorry. To what PBR was saying, the mob was kind of socialist. It was a group that protected the group, and it was parasitic. It lived off productive people. The mob never produced anything. It stole things. It sold things. It
Correct.
people and extorted. Does that kind of sound like government today? So what's the real difference there?
Well, I think the real difference there, Adam, is you had an entity like the mob who was willing to, and this sounds really bad, right? Because it's kind of like the devil you know versus the devil you don't. But the devil you knew kept the city running. They kept no questions asked. They kept taxes flowing into the government. They weren't having these summers of love and they weren't hosting these protests. But now, because the Democrats have gotten control of the city in a lot of ways, they're able to do these things kind of no holds barred. The mob had to keep quiet. The Democrats don't.
No, it's
Yeah. I don't know
All
why
right,
the
gonna move to
Democrats
Corey.
don't.
Oh, I'm gonna let Sippy go first.
But I don't know why the Democrats don't have to hide. They should. They should have to hide because they break the law all the damn time.
Yeah, they
I
do.
can answer that. I can answer for Chicago though, and Chicagoland area, and Cook County. Who was that just talking? Was that PBR? Or who's from Cook County?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's me.
PBR.
Oh, okay. Did your taxes go up?
Probably, man. Yeah, I think the property taxes are okay. The state income taxes, but what tax are you talking about?
I'm talking about just your annual, well, not annual, it's semi-annual tax bill. Did you take a look at that when it came in? Because mine just came.
No, I mean I don't. I don't own any property. Like I know property taxes going off. The only tax. I really
Corey, what's your house worth and how much are you paying in taxes, man? Tell me the numbers.
My house is worth the actual is 180.
What's it appraised at?
I have to get it appraised. I haven't got it appraised.
A little personal, man.
I know, right?
But
Yeah, well,
but the
I want
taxes.
to know the effective tax rate, to be perfectly frank, and I'll
But
tell
the,
you
but the,
mine. I was a $500,000 house, $9,000 in taxes. Just got the bill.
yeah, I'm up to 6,000 a year.
On a $180,000 house, or what did you say that wood was?
Yeah, that's what he said.
180.
180. Damn.
That's crazy talk. See, that's where it becomes crazy talk for me. That tax figure on that amount of money is nuts. I mean, you're talking about, what is that, 10% a year?
Yeah. Well, welcome to Cook County. Well, the
Y'all's
money is going
taxes are
straight to
making
our
mine
pocket.
not seem so bad.
But the thing is, the Democrats here have done a good job of setting up a smoke screen. All right, look over here. All right, if you really talk to any liberal that's here in Chicagoland area, they don't care. They know the taxes going up. They may say this, they may yell about that, but guess who they're going to blame? They're going to blame the president. And this is one of my theories, right? Whenever a Republican is in office, they're going to make that Republican look as bad as possible. Look over here while we do this. No, it's not us.
Right.
How many people really look into their state politics besides the fact that, okay, it's time to go vote? Nobody really looked at J.B. Pritzker. Nobody looked at Tony Prepwinkle. Nobody looked at Brandon Johnson. Brandon Johnson is pretty much setting up a smoke screen with the taxes because he's hinting that he's going to raise taxes, but he didn't raise taxes. But then he did raise taxes, and then who can he blame? Oh, guess what? It was because of slavery and because of racism and because of racist Trump, as he would say, that guess what? That's why your taxes are going up, and people believe that shit. Illinois has no one to blame but themselves because we are in a super majority right now. Cook County, nothing but Democrats, right? The whole board. Then when you look at the Chicago City Council, you have 48. We have 50 wards, but you have 48 councilmen that are Democrat, and then you have 2 independents. That's a problem.
Yeah, but Corey, how many of those councilmen own companies that provide services to the city? This is the problem that I have. Is this this is a large issue in the city of Chicago. You have these councilmen or you have these politicians, aldermen or whatever, who wind up working their way up, and they own these companies that then get the government contracts to do work for the local government. It's crazy.
Well, look at Chuy Garcia. He has a problem right now, to where there's forms of people are looking at forms of corruption. Then you have
And what the hell happened with Tiffany Henyard? I still haven't heard
wait,
nothing about that.
So no, that's because it faded away. I think here's what I think. I don't doubt that she misappropriated some funds. I don't doubt the fact that
You don't doubt it. I think nobody doubts that, Corey.
I know, but here's the thing that goes with it. Where's their indictment?
That's the thing. It hasn't happened because she's got Lori Lightfoot in her fucking back pocket, and you know it, and I know it. And she's paying Lori Lightfoot off with the money that she took from the state.
Hold on. Lori Lightfoot, she did an independent investigation and found all that. She did all of that.
It wasn't independent though. She was getting paid from the city crony corrupt money that.
But here's the thing.
Took.
But here's the thing. Where's their indictment?
It's a big problem.
If it's a big problem, then the thing is, maybe sometimes we can sit there and say they didn't have anything on her like that.
Or maybe it's that the person who is in charge of investigating the cronyism was a crony. Maybe that too.
Maybe, but we're not in the crux of the investigation. Whether or not the investigation is still going, whether we're going to hear about it or not, she's out of office. That's what mainly the thing that people wanted. I don't have a doubt, right? And we're talking.
But what about the millions she swindled? What do the taxpayers get What is the restitution to the taxpayers for the millions that she swindled
The
away?
tax, but
Well,
here's
let
the
me ask
thing.
you say swindled away. What evidence do you have that's
Exactly.
convinced and convicted her?
Well, she used a lot. She used a lot of money for her. She used a lot of city money for her own campaign funds, and that abuse has been found. Lori Lightfoot did not bring that to light. She, in many ways,
Wait, but
abused city funds. She did things like use city billboards that were meant for food assistance. Right?
okay, but
She would
here's the
turn
thing.
those. She would turn those into
If those
campaign
things are in the
ads.
line items, if those things are in the line items, right?
No,
And
that's a
she
big.
spent this money.
That's a big problem. You're
But
turning food
but
stamp
what? Okay,
ads into
what is the
campaign
law?
ads.
What is the law?
But yeah, you're talking about your
Name out
feelings.
the
Well,
specific law.
what's the statute that
That's a
says
big
that's
wrong.
prohibited, that you can put somebody, you can take someone's freedom away for it? That's what you're looking to do, right? You want somebody to go to jail
Yeah,
for
that's
these atrocities?
absolutely. It's a jailable
Fine.
offense.
What law makes it jailable? Not just because it hurts your heart makes it jailable.
Campaign
You gotta get a
finance
statute.
abuse.
Under what
Okay,
statute?
so now,
What are the elements?
so now,
I
yes,
don't
that's
see it, is what
exactly.
I'm saying. I see headlines, and I get what you're saying. I'm not saying it's
Well,
not
all right.
happening, but I'm not convinced
Utilizing
that it is.
city funds in a fraudulent manner for your own campaign
What's the
is
fraudulent
not
manner?
fraud, and
What
finance
What is a
fraud
fraudulent manner?
does not hold weight, is what Joe Lanu is telling me.
What I'm telling you is you haven't presented anything but how you feel about it. There's no evidence. You
Oh,
say it's
I just told
fraudulent.
you. I just told
What's
you that she
fraudulent?
used a food stamp billboard and advertised her campaign on it. That's a big
Okay,
problem.
so
How is that against the
here's
law?
what she
Using
did.
city
Here's what
funds.
she did. Here's what she did. She was slick about it. Right? She was slick about it. But you can put your face in your picture when you not just campaigning, right? Not just campaigning, but the way she worded it was, hey, I'm looking out for you. I'm looking out for you, and you can do that. That's where the legality of it comes to it. She didn't say vote for Tiffany Henyard. She knew
All
what
right,
she was doing.
I'll pull up the billboard, but there's a lot
I
of
know the
issues there.
billboard
You
because I've seen the
understand?
billboards. I know the billboards because I've seen the billboards. I'm
So have
actually
I.
here, right? So that's the thing. Here's my thing. I don't agree with what she did, but what did she do that was illegal?
Campaign finance fraud. I just said it 1,000
Campaign
times, and
campaign finance fraud.
I gave you a
But
But
direct
how?
hang
example.
on,
I
hold up,
gave
hold
you a
up, hold
direct
up, hold
example,
up,
but you
hold
won't
up,
acknowledge it.
hold up, hold up. All right,
Yo,
victim.
see, hold on. You want
Hang on, hold
hold
up
on,
a
Joe.
second.
Hold on,
Hold on a
Joe.
second. Look, man,
You
here's the thing.
you want me to
You're the
sit there and
victim.
capitulate? Yep. Go ahead, Joe. I'm sorry.
You're the victim of this, and you say campaign finance fraud. I just said, what are the elements of that? If you say that somebody robbed someone, I could tell you what the
Yeah,
elements are.
I just said
You're
somebody
saying
abused
you're saying she put up a billboard that you don't think that you say
using city money for campaign finance for campaigning. Yes.
she's the mayor. She can put her face up there.
And
She
she
ain't
did
gonna
that
say
on
anything.
multiple occasions. That's just one instance of the corruption involved. She also had private security for herself using city money. That happened on multiple occasions on instances where she wasn't conducting city business. I mean, I can get into it with you about it. At the
I
end of
can get into that
the
too.
day, Tiffany
But the
Henyard is
thing,
a
here's the
corrupt
thing. I can get
politician.
into it. I can get into it too, because yes, she did that. But also, she didn't. You're not talking about the threats that she got because of the shooting that happened before. That's how she used the legality. I'm not sticking
All
up for
right.
Tiffany Henyard. I don't. Here's
You
my
see what
thing.
I'm saying?
I'm
It's
not
always
sticking
an
up for.
excuse, though. Let's just abuse it
But
because
no,
it's an excuse. And
you want. Here's the
screw the
thing. You want
taxpayers.
a conviction, right?
We're getting into yelling, and we're not going to get into the yelling. So please let people finish their thoughts instead of cutting them off. I would really appreciate that. Thank you. Go ahead, Adam, finish your thoughts, and then Banner can have an opportunity to respond. I've unmuted the space.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
Thank you. Going back to the larger issue that affects us all, the property taxes. People need to understand those are unrealized gains, meaning that if you have a $200,000 home and you're taxed on it, you don't have $200,000 in your pocket. You have $200,000 in real estate. And if the government says, well, now that's worth 300,000, so they'll tax you on 300,000, you didn't make $100,000. You're not $100,000 richer in your bank account. It's not like a stock where you bought 100,000 and you sold 300,000. And so they say, well, we'll take 15,000 out of that. Well, you're still about $200,000, $185,000 richer. But property taxes do not work like that. You still have the same home. And if something goes wrong, you might lose money on that home. That's the evil of property taxes. Check into unrealized gains. It's essentially a fantasy tax on money you don't really have and might never have, but the government still wants its cut of it.
Okay. Banner, what were you saying? And then I'm going to go to the hands.
You can move on from me. I just think she's a very, very, very corrupt mayor indeed. I'll leave it there.
All right. I'm going to go to Corey and then Joe, if that's your hand back up, I'll go to you afterwards. Go ahead, Corey.
It's not about what you know, it's what you can prove. It's not about your feelings. It's what you can prove. All of the headlines that you're sitting there reading and you're whining about, other than that, you're not even proving anybody in this space about the corruption. That's a simple thing about it. But like I said before, I believe that she did something wrong. Let the investigation play out how it's going to play out. But what you have noticed and what people are not looking at, since you're mad at Tiffany Henyard, be mad at Napoleon Harris also. Because the way that he did it was a grimy fucking way. Because he primaried her through the Democratic caucus. He got her there. No, he didn't get her there. He got the people there because they seen the headlines and were mad just as everyone else. Then he blocked her interest into it to contest the whole caucus. Yes, Napoleon Harris did the same thing that Tiffany Henyard is doing. So the corruption throughout Cook County, not just the Southland, but throughout Cook County, because if you look at the west suburbs, where I grew up in Maywood, because I can start talking about that too. Because if you really want to get into Illinois politics, look at Chris Emanuel Welch, the Speaker of the House
Okay,
here in
Banner, be
Illinois.
mature.
No,
Come
let
on,
him have his
Banner, be
reactions. It's
mature.
fine. Let him have his reactions. It's fine.
Oh, he can have his reactions all he wants to. I'm not even really looking at it because here's the fact. It sounds very emotional. It's not what you know, what you can prove.
Got a point there.
Thanks, Corey. All right, go ahead, Joe.
And my point's kind of like Corey's as well. I don't know what's going on in Chicago politics, but from what I know historically, if you say Chicago politics, I'm already thinking dirty and crooked. They've been crooked for years. I don't think they're any cleaner today. Hopefully, that's something that get cleaned up. I'm saying when we start accusing people through headlines, and I'm going to use January 6th as an example. January 6th, if you watch the news, there was a fucking insurrection there that day. Doesn't meet the code. We have a statute called insurrection. Nobody met the code for it. No one was charged for it. Why? They didn't meet the elements of the offense. They didn't have the evidence. What they had was they had the emotions. And we watched a bunch of Americans get treated like fucking common criminals because one side was emotionally driven by that. We can't be like that. We're Americans. It comes down, it doesn't matter what I think, it doesn't matter what you think, it matters what a grand jury thinks. It matters what a jury thinks. They're the only citizens that matter when it comes to a criminal investigation. They're the only ones that can say you can go forward, and they're the only ones that say you got to go to jail, that you're guilty. Aside from that, the rest of it's just banter and how you feel. And I get what you're saying. The billboard stuff, sure, that sounds dirty, but I can't just 100% say it is. I don't know how Illinois laws are written. And if I would go with Chicago politics and the some bitches that have been writing the laws, I'm saying, there's probably a loophole in there that allows her to fudge it a little bit. Hey, I'm your mayor, but look, here's some food stamps down here, food stamp emblem in the corner. Maybe it satisfies both ways. Who knows? But you got to look at the evidence, man. And all the headlines that come out from both sides, all they do is keep us fired up and fighting back and forth and fighting amongst ourselves about who's guilty or what. When at the end of the day, if the government has something, they don't need to put it out in headlines. You take it to a grand jury. That's the way the system works. That's what the Constitution says they should do. Media is not shit, but a magazine. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I agree.
You're talking about, well, Joe's talking about bringing stuff to the law, and there's no hand, so I'm just talking here, and Miss Jinx shut me up. But at the end of the day, you're talking about bringing stuff to the law. We've seen that happen before. I've seen this play out before. I know how this show goes. Do you understand my point? We've seen our own president be prosecuted by illegitimate judges with a vendetta before. So I'm not going through that game again, Joe. And I see the corruption. It's very plain to see. You've got literally a Little Wayne mayor with a security detail being paid for by the city on non-city functions, and she's abusing things like she's using the city to pay for inflatable stuff at events, right? That are campaign events. I mean, there's a litany of stuff against this woman. I don't want to get into it with you, Joe. I don't want to get into it with you, Corey, because y'all seem to be very uppity about how she's awesome. What I'm trying to tell you is it's very clear to the American public that she is a very, very corrupt mayor indeed, and I'll leave it there.
Where the
All right, Care,
awesome?
hang on, Care Bear. Let that emblem slow down in your belly there. I never said she was awesome. I said she's most likely a crook. I'm just saying you can't convict her. You don't really have. You feel like she's done something.
I just told you like five different things. I just told you about 5 different things that she could be convicted on that nobody is investigating because it's Chicago cronyism, bro. You're not getting it. You don't get how Chicago politics work, do you?
Try this one on. Try this one. You mentioned the president. Let's try this on one. If they'd gone with evidence to the president, we wouldn't see any convictions. They didn't. They did it because they didn't like Trump. That's my point. We can't have convictions because you don't like them or you think something's done. Get the evidence. You know what? You as a citizen,
but you also need to be able to have convictions when you feel like somebody is breaking the law instead of the fact that you like them and you let them go.
12, you got to convince 12 other citizens that they did it. The state does. That's how you get a conviction.
Yeah, but the issue is that you've got all these cronies in your pocket.
Doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. It's just a little.
You've got them in your pocket, top level down. They're all your AG, your judges. They're all in the pocket, man. This is the thing.
I don't think it's in the law at all, Banner. If I'm being completely honest, you gotta be able to prove it.
Yeah, well, this is what I'm trying to tell you. I mean, you want to see about how effective our law is. Look at our president.
The guy who's our president, that sounds pretty successful to me.
No, look at how he's been dragged through the mud. There you go. There's a perfect example of how illegitimate our justice system actually is. Our justice system is completely illegitimate, and especially in places like California, like New York, and like Illinois.
So what's your solution? Tanks and guns? Because if you don't have tanks and guns, if you don't have a political system, when that fails, it's violence. And that's what our founding fathers knew. That's why our Constitution is written the way it was. That's why court systems move slow. We want to get the emotions out before we get a jury at 12 to make someone's decision whether they go to jail or not. Our founding fathers took it very serious if we took someone's rights away. We don't seem to be that way anymore. We seem to be pretty quick, especially if you're on the wrong side of the political divide from me, that I'm pretty okay with. Maybe you don't have the evidence, but I'm pretty sure you did fucking something, so put him in jail. That's what they tried to do to Trump. I'm saying that's wrong. That's what they did to J6ers. I'm saying that's wrong. And if I say it's wrong for J6ers and I say it's wrong for Trump, then I would have to say it's wrong to some motherfucker I don't agree with and probably think like you do that they're crooked. Show me the evidence.
Yeah, but we have to allow them to be heard in court. And the problem is that these AGs and these corrupt judges, Joe, won't let these motherfuckers be seen in court because they're all in the pocket together. That's the problem.
You can do an investigation. You can do an investigation, submit it to.
You're talking about full RICO, and that has to start from a federal process.
Never mind. There's no talking to you because
I just said RICO. No, there's no talking to me, but I just said you start a RICO investigation, but that has to start at the federal level.
I've done about a dozen RICO investigations. I'm extremely familiar on how they start and what you've got to do and what elements I have to prove to get to a grand jury to get a conviction.
And you got a lot of these judges working in cahoots on a federal level. That's a RICO case.
You got the evidence, it is. You don't have the evidence, it's a fucking rumor. And I'm sorry. I think I've stepped over Sippy 3 times. My apologies.
Not yet.
No, and I've shouted a lot, and Joe, I know there's a heated discussion. I want to bend the knee and just say, man, we're all good. There's nothing too hot here.
Last thing I'm going to say is, brother, we never have to agree to be friends. I'm not that way. I don't.
Amen, brother.
Banner's very passionate about these kinds of things, and I totally respect that. So,
Well, thank you, Sip or Miss Jinx. I really appreciate that. And at the end of the day,
geez.
At the end of the day, right? We all have beliefs that we're staunch in. And here's the problem that we have on the right. We're also readily able, and we also want to call each other out about how you don't align with each other's ideology. And at the end of the day, we need to have conversations like this so we can hash it out and come to a consensus, because otherwise we're no better than the left. We're just listening. And I've said this in other spaces. We're just listening to the top down telling us how to act and respond. We need to be able to challenge each other, and we need to be able to come to a consensus so that way we can all further each other's goals, right?
Yeah. Yolo, I keep trying to give you the microphone when you request, but it may not be working. You may have to completely back out of the space and come back in to get it to fix. It happens sometimes. Spaces suck. Corey, is that a hand up again, or is that the old hand?
Yeah, that's my hand.
Yeah. Okay.
I was going to say before the little powwow, the lack of consistency, where the lack of consistency where you'll make an excuse for one but not the other, and say let the facts play out where they at, and then let the investigation do what it was. Even if you feel that the investigation on President Trump was a sham and a warfare by lawfare, you can't even say that for a lower local official. But then I get called. Then I say I'm actually on the side of her, when I've actually said no, I'm not on the side of her. But I also want to see a full and complete investigation before she's convicted in the court of public opinion. They did a nice smear campaign against her, right? Some of it was true. Some of it was false. What's so bad about admitting that? The same way that I said, President Trump, they're talking about these 34 convictions and he's a felon. Well, guess what? I don't believe it. Same way I can look at her and say, there's something there. And I will hope that they will find it and make a complete, just investigation of it. But now I got you, Banner. I got you. But we want the microwave. We live in an age of microwave results. 30 seconds.
You hit the nail on the head, man. You're hitting the nail on the head. You absolutely are. And you and I do not disagree on this subject at all. I do want to see the facts come out. I do want to see the investigation come to light. But that's like saying Nancy Pelosi isn't guilty of anything. That's like saying Chuck Schumer isn't guilty of anything. Do you understand my point? When it's so blatantly obvious,
they haven't
been brought to court. Yeah, they haven't been convicted.
Do you see my point though? Is that when it's so blatantly obvious of insider trading, of collusion, it's so clearly obvious. Listen, the American people, the court of public opinion has a lot more weight in a lot of ways than the actual court. And you know that's why we're bringing this up, right? That's why this is even a topic.
It did in Trump's case in New York. It sure did. I don't think it turned out well.
Let me cut in real quick.
And guess what?
Let me cut in.
And court of public opinion.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sippy wants to talk.
Let me cut in real quick. All right. So a better example, Swalwell. We all know he leaked information. He admitted to it. He's guilty, but he never got charged.
Amen.
Here's another thing though. The whole thing with the Tiffany has been tried in the court of public opinion. That's why she's not even the Thornton Township supervisor. That's why she's not Dalton's mayor.
Well, yeah, she's been tried in the court of public opinion and she failed, and now we're waiting for the actual court of actual court.
That's
hang on,
the thing.
Corey. Is this the Chicago mayor they're like fighting and stuff in the
I think so.
Yeah, Tiffany Henyard. I call her the Lil Wayne mayor. She's the Lil Wayne mayor.
Kind of half-assed defending her because I don't like her at all, but still,
But no.
Accusations are accusations. Proof is proof, and I hadn't seen any proof.
Well, can we agree she's
That's the thing.
guilty of
That
assault? How about that? Because we saw that on
nah,
That is
camera.
accurate.
We saw
From the
that on
video, I
camera.
saw it
not
looked like
necessarily
That's
because
video.
everybody in there started fighting. Now her boyfriend.
I know, but it's still. I mean, it's
considered guilty
assault
of
from
assault.
both ways.
You
Like
see what I'm saying? It's like you can just
but
put it right out there, and
that's
it's
the
denied.
thing.
Time
Look
out.
at
Time out.
okay.
Time out for a second. Hang on. Just time out for a second. I'm seeing a video for the grand jury. What do you think, Sippy? Think we could determine whether this was self-defense or assault? We could solve it when the grand jury show.
Yeah, we could.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! I might join that one, Joe.
Yeah, we could for sure.
It's a video. I can do that.
I know. Yeah.
All right.
I mean, she
You
came
heard it
running
here
out of
first.
left field, though. She did. She just came in.
Joe, if you need me to send it to you, I will.
Have you got it handy? Send it to me. If not, I can pull it.
I mean, it just blows my mind, and I'm kind of curious, Corey. This is directed right at you, man. Is it? What's the defense of Tiffany Henyard? I'm trying to understand. Is it because the community really likes her? Because she's been siphoning off the community. I'm trying to understand where the defense is coming from.
No. Here's my thing. My thing is this. This is my direct answer to your question and to the whole space. I want to see her tried justly, and I want it to be fairly. If she's going to go down, right? I don't want any Mickey Mouse BS as they did with President Trump, as they did with the J6ers. I want it to be just. I want the
Agree.
evidence
Okay,
to
we can
come
agree
out.
on that, man. We agree on that, brother. We agree.
I agree with you. We agree on that.
Look at that. I'm so proud of you guys. I'm like a proud mom right now.
Well, you know, that's what these
here,
spaces
Mom.
are about. It's about coming to that, and this is what I'm trying to say, coming to that consensus. What do we want to see? We want to see Tiffany Henyard at trial face, her accusers. That's what we want to see. And that is what we just developed as a result of this space.
This is why you should do the grand jury. We do that like 6 cases every Friday night. 5 people come to consensus and agree what should happen.
This last time it was
Make a
7.
list of your cases.
This last time it was 7, and I was right on all of them, I think.
Man, I think you actually might have been.
Yeah, I think so.
You were hitting pretty close to the way I saw it as well on most cases.
Yeah.
The only one that I was iffy on was the rock one, but I didn't know that he had another rock in his pocket.
Yeah.
So I do want to pivot back because it's a topic that I feel like needs discussion this week. The H-1B issue. I'm really pissed off about that. I'm really pissed off about what Trump said in regards to the H-1B, that we don't have the skilled American workers here in the United States. That really pissed me off this week. I have jobless friends where H-1Bs have taken their position because they undercut them financially. And can those jobless friends re-undercut those people? Yes, but what are we doing to the job place market when we do that? So I've got a huge problem with the H-1Bs. I think the statement made this week by President Trump was absolutely the antithesis of what I wanted to hear out of his mouth.
Yeah, I don't think we need H-1Bs because ultimately the skilled, the actual people with high skills, the doctors and things like that, they don't come in on H-1Bs. They come in a different visa system. There's zero reason for us to have H-1Bs. Go ahead, Joe.
If it's a statement I think you have to take that in context. I think he was talking about immigration raids, and when they went to someplace in one of the Carolinas, and they took out a lot of South Koreans. Those South Koreans were there because they're the only ones that know how to put up the equipment. They didn't get the proper visa to work, so they did get handled. But I think what he's talking, and he's not wrong, if we're going to bring manufacturing back to the United States, for more than 30 years, there are some things that we have not made in the United States. We hadn't built a conveyor belt to cover them. We hadn't built a machine to box them. We hadn't built a machine to manufacture them. You're going to have to bring in people from other countries to build these things and set these things up.
All right, Joe,
I don't agree. I don't agree with H-1B when it comes to, like, tech guys like coding and things like that. I think we have plenty of talent in the United States for that. But there are certain things that we are going to have to bring people in from other countries to get us back on track.
All right, Joe, I got to poke holes in it now.
Agree.
I gotta poke holes in your theory now, because that's what I do. I'm an engineer, and I do manufacturing.
Hold on, Sippy. Are you an engineer? Or are you one of these quote unquote engineers that they call an engineer but is not really degreed in engineering? No offense.
I do not have a degree in engineering. I am a systems and controls engineer. So I do engineering things. I don't have a bachelor's. How about that? I have an associate's. But either way it goes, I'm really good at what I do.
I mean, no offense by that. That's what I call the quote unquote engineer. I mean, zero offense by that, but that is what I call that.
Okay. Well, call it what you want. Either way it goes.
Well, he's not a PE. He can hold a conversation. If you're a PE,
right?
You have no social skills.
Exactly. But either way it goes, so he was talking about in Georgia with the South Koreans, by the way. That was the Hyundai/LG battery plant. I literally just helped design a battery plant from the ground up. We have the skills here. We know how to make batteries. It's not really that hard. Actually.
And how many H-1Bs do you work with, Sippy, to do that job?
Currently, I only work with one H-1B. There's only one H-1B on our entire team, as far as I know. But we do have, it's an international company, so we have people from Mexico. We have people from Canada. We have people from Japan. That kind of just gave away where I worked. Anyways. So either way it goes, we have the skills. Absolutely. We don't have to bring in any outside help to do that. We do all that in-house. So the fact that they're saying that Hyundai couldn't do it without bringing in a bunch of illegals is a bunch of bullshit. We've got friggin' vendors that specialize in battery plants and making batteries.
The issue with those South Koreans, they brought them in on visa and they weren't supposed to be working. But these were South Koreans that were putting together the equipment, the machines that they're putting together. That's what they were there for.
But what the fuck, Hyundai? What the fuck, Hyundai?
Jesus
right?
Christ, what the fuck? Can I finish? My point is this, is that they weren't there to take American jobs necessarily. That particular group we're talking about, they had visa problems. They weren't supposed. They could be here in the United States legally, but they couldn't be working, and obviously they were. But when it comes to these machines and things, that it's a Hyundai machine. They build it in Korea. They can send their people over. That would be you could do an H-1B visa. Well, you'd have to do an H-1B visa to allow them to work in the United States, because they're technically taking an American job for a while. But this is a short-lived phase. This won't last long. But we haven't made chips in the United States. Our battery production is not the same as it's been overseas. We're going to need outside help. You're not going to tell me that when we start producing our own chips here, or if we start making a cell phone here in the United States.
Yeah, but you're talking about one guy that runs a team of guys.
Let him finish, please.
I'm not telling any business how to run their business. I'm just saying that we may need skill from outside the United States in certain areas. We don't need it in a broad range like it's being done now. But I think Trump, doesn't he charge like $100,000 or $500,000 now for an H-1B visa?
$100,000.
New one, but you
don't think that's a huge deal? That's a huge deal, man. That makes
it's a half measure.
Anymore.
It's a half measure. It's a half measure. We have more than 3 million of them here right now, taking American jobs in some of the most skilled positions that we have in our economy. That's a ton. Look at the USCIS data. Tata Consulting Services brought in more than 1 million over the last 10 years. I'm just trying to say it's a real pervasive problem. And not only that, those H-1Bs are having kids. every single H-1B that's having a kid before this year is a citizen. Do you know that? So that means I live in Dallas, okay? I'm shouting, but I live in a neighborhood surrounded by H-1Bs. Surrounded by them, okay? I got Chase app devs that live down the street. I've got bank this and financial services this, and they're all living around me, okay? I'm surrounded by them here in Dallas. Surrounded by them. And it's to the tune of 50% H-1Bs that bought houses, that are having kids, that are participating in our economy here. They're about to, I shit you not, in 5 years, these H-1Bs and their kids are going to outnumber you and your kids. And they're going to be competing against your kids in the workforce.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's one of the big problems with that we're seeing, as it is the citizenship that also goes in with it with their kids and everything. It's a problem.
They own houses. They have financial products. They have debt in our economy in U.S. dollars. They owe it to our financial institutions. People don't understand this stuff. Like, to unwind the H-1B, and maybe this is why the administration, I'm getting a little bit heated right now. Maybe this is why the administration, hasn't dealt with it because it's such a big fucking problem. Maybe they haven't dealt with it because it is a mountain to unwind, because they have, again, massive financial products in the United States. They have home loans, they have car loans, they have children. It's massive.
But
It
you
is
know,
a
Banner,
large situation to unwind, and people are not understanding that.
I think a lot of people understand that, and I think that might be the strategy, is that you put the dam across the river, but you let all the water that's already flown through, you let it evaporate. Over time, they'll blend in. They'll either be here or they won't be here. But I think adding $100,000 to it prevents a lot of companies. The H-1B is not as attractive because you're adding $100,000 on top of whatever their salary is going to be.
I do think you're correct in that. That's entirely possible.
It stems the flow, yes, but here's the deal. Again, it doesn't deal with the generational issue.
Hang on. So the only solution to this would be to go deport these people, figure out their assets, unsort these things, and try to extract them out of our neighborhoods and things. I don't think that that's I don't think that that's the way to go. I think the best way is let what's happened happen, let it evaporate. Good thing we're not doing that.
But it won't evaporate. It won't evaporate. It's going to multiply. That's the problem that I'm trying to tell you, is that the Indians that are here, that have taken the jobs, that are having
more kids.
10,
I hear this all the time. Have more kids.
They are having 10 kids to the American citizens 1.
Have more kids. That's our job as American citizen. Have more kids.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're outnumbered, and you let them in. We let them in under the term of H-1B, and now they're having kids, and they're going to outnumber us.
Are you married, Banner?
Nope.
How many children do you have?
0.
Okay.
Get busy tonight, Banner.
Yeah,
Start
get
putting some on
busy.
the board.
Tinder, it's a good place to start. Michael's got his hand up. I'm going to go to Michael.
Hi guys. One thing that jumps out at me is when we talk about the topic, which I definitely identify with, and to a degree, like Sippy, I've had experience with being replaced by foreign workers. Like what kind of caught my attention was, if you take the replacement theory, the great replacement theory, and take the word replacement and change it with displacement, you get almost consensus. You know, it's like one of them, replacement, hints at some kind of racial and you know, nefarious intent, but displacement is just a reality that we can all see with our own eyes.
Are you saying that people coming here are displaced?
No, they're displacing
no good place to live.
Americans.
They've got to come here to live.
No, they're
Yeah, don't talk
displacing the
about me that way.
Americans.
Well, I'm saying that we are being displaced.
Yeah.
Okay, I just didn't know which side displacement was happening in your scenario.
Yeah. I got you.
Right.
He was saying displacing the American citizens.
Have more kids, man.
Well,
Go
I mean,
ahead, Joe.
that's the argument, but at the end of the day, we let them in, Joe. We let them in, and they're having kids.
Bro,
That's the problem.
we've been letting them in
they're
since
here
the
under
19
they're here
we've been
under a
letting them in since the
citizenship boot camp.
1990s. We're letting them in the 19. You got administrations that's dealing with it. No other administration has dealt with it. We've been letting them in since the 1990s.
Have more kids is not the solution, though. You're talking that's a decades-long solution. That's a decades-long solution to an immediate problem.
What is your solution, Banner?
Get rid of the fucking H-1Bs. Send them the fuck home. Period. We've got a lot of American workers with skills that can take those jobs. And for every single one that can, send one home. It's not that hard.
All right, I'm going to go to Jake.
Good evening. How's everybody doing tonight?
What is?
Doing good, doing good.
Yeah. Sounds a little spicy in here tonight.
A little bit, but
Yeah.
passionate in here. That's what it is, passionate.
That's always fun. That's always fun. I couldn't help but overhear talking about H-1Bs. Yeah, I think they can all go fuck themselves personally. But I think before we really get our hair in a twist about that, we still need to focus on all these damn illegals that are everywhere and own houses and own companies and trucking companies and have tons of overweight anchor babies that flood the stores like a fleet of interstate buses. I think we need to kind of worry about those before we get to the guys sitting in the call center answering questions. We can get rid of them too. Yes, I'm not denying that, but I think Pedro over here that has 17 kids and, they're all sucking up food stamps and EBT and schooling and everything around them like locusts should go away.
Yeah, that's definitely the bigger issue.
Oh, I love the analogy of the locust.
I love you, Jake.
That was good.
Go ahead, Joe.
I'm happy with the administration, what they're doing with asylum seekers. When we say illegals, that's really what we're talking about is all these asylum seekers that were paroled into the interior that had court dates 6 years from now.
Well, that and
many
the
have,
actual illegals.
Many have had deportation orders already, and they have terms because they're paroled into the interior. They have terms like not break any laws. So technically, if they get a DWI, they've broken the terms and they can be deported. We're seeing it. Administrations in the streets dragging them. I'm 56 years old. I've never seen this happen before with ICE. I'm former law enforcement, and I've never seen ICE be this enforcement. They're all over the place. I think it's going to take time. We've been flooded by these folks from different directions. How we handle each category is going to be different, and it's going to take years. It's going to take not just this administration to dry the water, so to speak, but I think the administration is doing. I don't know what else they could do. Be honest, I don't know what else they could do other than what they're doing now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the deportation rate is really high right now. But if you include self-deportations, we're at like 2 million in the first 10 months, and Biden did 5 million in his whole 4 years. So I mean that's quite a higher pace.
Well, and what you're not seeing is that states that aren't sanctuary states, like Texas, for instance, somebody who's an undocumented, not even undocumented, but a parolee, a foreign national that gets pulled over for DWI. Now, when they go into jail, ICE has pulled their detainer down that low. In other words, an offense of a Class B misdemeanor DWI in Texas will satisfy the needs for an ICE detainer. So when they go in and go through the booking process and they ask where you're born, I was born in Guadalajara. So you are a U.S. citizen. No, I'm not a U.S. citizen. You'll go through their documents at that point. At that point, the jail is going to contact ICE with this person's information within 24 hours before this. They won't release him, but within 24 hours, ICE is going to call him on the phone and they're going to do an interview with them. And they're just going to confirm what they know already, that you're not a foreign national and you've been charged with a DWI. They're going to place an ICE detainer on that person. That person within 24 hours is going to get a bond. That person can bond themselves out and get them out themselves free of the DWI charge until they go to court, but they can't get out of the ICE detainer. So they can't get out of jail. So once they go into the system, they'll stay in the system. The way it's working now is they'll go through and have their little court date, whatever. Most likely they'll make an arrangement with most prosecutors that if you dismiss the charge, when you dismiss the charge, we're going to deport this person immediately. They'll dismiss the charge. This person, the white van, comes to the jails, picks them up like every Thursdays, and they take their little chain on. You don't see these people in the streets, and these numbers are hard to predict because you don't know when Paco is going to get a DWI. But I assure you, Paco and Jose will get DWIs. And these numbers, we're not sure what they're going to be yet, but I think they'll be pretty vast in like states like Texas.
Yeah. It's the blue states that are going to be the problem.
That's why you see them in the streets in blue states. You don't really see them in the streets in Texas. I think they've raided some stuff down in Houston because there's some bullshit going on down there. But
That's what that. Yeah, that's why they've been in Chicago. Yeah, that's why and Tom Homan said that. He said if they would actually cooperate with them, they wouldn't have to go to the streets. They can go to the jails and lock them ones up and then deport them. But then guess what? Illinois said, no, we're not going to do that. Illinois, Chicago, Cook County said we're not going to report to them. So now that leads them out to the streets, which leads them to either other people where their status is questioned. And guess what? They wind up getting deported.
Yeah. All right. I still have a bunch of hands up. A lot of the same people. Michael, is that hand still up? Michael, is that a hand that's still up?
I only see Jake's.
You only see Jake's? Okay, well, I see 3 hands.
I see.
Are you on the PC, Miss James?
It was not.
I am.
Yeah, the PC will screw you on the hand emojis. I've noticed. So when I run spaces, I run a phone separately so I can see the stupid hands.
Yeah.
All right, Jake, go ahead.
You're on PC or PCP?
Probably PCP. We know it's it's Sunday night. She has to go to work soon.
I do not have to go to work soon. I'm off. I don't go back to work till Thursday.
Yeah, she's just gonna prop her feet up at home.
That's rude.
Yep.
Such a rude people, I tell you. Rest of us have to slave out here in the cold. But anyway,
You get a day off. How dare you?
Go ahead, Jake. What were you gonna say?
No, it's just talking about the illegals and what more they could do. I mean, the strange thing is they haven't even touched the state of New Mexico yet, and I'm just stunned by that. Right? They're going up into Chicago and they're going over here, and they're getting a ton of them up there. Man, they come down here. There's thousands and thousands. They could come down here and it'd be like freaking catching butterflies with a net.
But nobody cares about New Mexico, Jake. Haven't you heard?
But that's a border state. We're a sanctuary state with sanctuary.
That's kind of true, though. Nobody really does care about New Mexico.
I know
exactly.
I'm being perfectly frank. Nobody gives a shit.
What? Only thing there is meth and dirt, right?
Couple of black hills.
Some cacti, right?
Yeah, a bunch of cactus and bullshit.
I've golfed around some black hills over there.
Well, it's unfortunate that nobody cares about New Mexico because the left cares an awful lot. I mean, this place is a leftist stronghold. There's generational Mexican families. There's cartels everywhere. I mean, this place is like locked up tight for them. So and the feds are just over here playing over there.
You've also got the Native American population there, and I don't know that New Mexico goes red in my lifetime. Which may not be a few more years.
No.
Maybe there's some hope, but that's
Never.
not new.
Well, with the leftism that they've imported from California, I mean, this place is. I mean, they're basically
they have so little votes. The whole reason that nobody's paid attention to them is because they don't have shit for votes.
Well, and I guess that makes sense politically, and that's why the party, the Democrats swooped in here like they did. It's a border state. You'd think people would have been that smart, but with all these federal facilities here, you think they'd have a brain too. I mean, we have some of the most important missile sites. We have, Kirtland Air Force Base. We have Los Alamos National Lab, Sandia National Labs.
Los Alamos and Sandia are irrelevant now.
You got White Sands.
Yeah, well,
And all that's federal property. They don't give a shit what state you're in. They go by federal rules.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yep.
Well, so let's just turn New Mexico into the federal state of the union. Let's just
Why
turn
don't
it
you-
into one giant missile range. Sounds good to
Why don't
me.
Why don't you guys in New Mexico do something about it?
Well, we try, and right now our local party is doing Titanic themed what do you call it? Dinners, uh, little barbecues, and they had a little.
See, I
stove
always thought
burner.
if we needed to test nukes somewhere, it should be probably in Oklahoma or New Mexico. Those are the two places.
Just fence off the square part of the state, right? Move everybody that's human out, and then just turn the rest of the place into a freaking
Missile range, buddy. Missile range.
missile range.
America needs a gun
area.
range.
Yeah, training area. Yeah.
A penal colony. Escape from Nuevo Mexico.
New Mexico is.
I will tell you this though. I will tell you this. It is really unfortunate about New Mexico because it's such a beautiful state. It really is. It is one of the most pretty states you will ever drive through. One of the most pretty states you'll ever fly over. I've golfed there multiple times. Just absolutely stellar. I mean, patches of green in a desert. Just imagine
Banner,
what that
you only
golfing is
feel that
like.
way because you were driving through and flying over, and you were only there for a couple of days to play golf. If you were there permanently, you wouldn't feel that.
That's right. I didn't have to stay. You're right. In fact, I went to the Whole Foods once, and they didn't like me. I remember that.
Yeah, they're very posh at our Whole Foods. If you go to Albuquerque,
Oh,
it's
fuck all your
LA.
Whole Foods. They all suck. They're all full of liberals.
Mm-hmm.
They're not good places.
New Mexico has basically become little California. I mean, you go through downtown Albuquerque, it looks like LA with the tents.
It's become little Moscow, really.
It's insane over here. It's crazy.
It's communist. Everybody does the same thing. It's the weirdest thing to me.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, Joe, you got your hand up again, or is it stuck? Joe.
So when are you all releasing this newfound information?
It'll be Monday, Tuesday. It's going to be before Wednesday space, so we can talk about it on Wednesday.
Yeah, we just got to make sure everything is in order, have it all compiled properly with the appropriate information, because we don't want to just like put stuff out willy-nilly and then be wrong,
Well, is this you all think this might be another RAV event?
No.
Well,
No,
get it out there. Didn't like it?
Just no white binders.
I mean, everybody has access to this information, so it's different than our standard exposés.
Let me ask you this question. So how did you all like your last RAV event?
It's all right.
Nerve-wracking, but fun.
Yeah, super nervous. But yeah.
Yeah.
Wasn't too bad.
Was it just the nerves were hitting on all nines?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
it was
Jinx
also
was up.
really freaking early in the morning for me.
Jinx was up at like 4:30 to do it.
It started at 4:30. I was up at like 4.
Yeah.
I think you guys are onto something. Just keep with these intel releases. Keep submitting these FOIAs. Become the source of truth for a lot of this information, and you'll be on the mainstream.
Yeah, we've got to.
I want to replace the mainstream. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, we've got a few things in the pipeline.
Yeah.
That's what she said.
There is definitely a FOIA that we've been delaying for a while. That
we really need to get on top of that.
Is it redacted?
It might end up being. I don't know.
Talking about the most favorite.
Is that the FOIA that I told
department.
you guys to submit a long time ago?
Shit, I don't know what you told us to submit a long time ago. No, she's talking about the we had a IRS whistleblower come to us and we had to FOIA some stuff for him.
Oh no, that's completely separate. Oh shit. Sneak preview for the rest of the space.
Yeah, but we really can't talk about it in any way, shape, or form until we get the FOIA done and get it back.
Yeah. which we still haven't done. We really need to.
No.
I'm super
Hey,
excited
what,
for you guys, though. Just keep releasing the intel, keep releasing the information, submit those FOIAs. If you need help on submitting those FOIAs or tracking stuff down, let me know. DM.
Absolutely. All right. Joe, is that a hand?
that is a hand this time. My question is, how successful, when you're doing FOIA requests, you doing on the federal level, or do you do any locals, state?
We've done locals.
We've done locals, yeah.
How successful are you on?
They normally answer back pretty quick unless they got something where you have to be a resident of the state, and then they'll deny it. But
Yeah.
other than that.
But we know pretty much someone in every single state.
Yeah, so we just reach out to them and get them to do it. But yeah.
But I don't think, other than an out of state decline, I don't think we've ever had a FOIA declined.
I've had, well, I won't get what I'm asking for, but I'm looking at investigations a lot of the times. But Colorado is a pain in the ass, and so is Indiana. Indiana charges $50 per recording. Like you get a police shooting event, you may have 5 recordings in there between all the officers that respond. You don't know which ones you need until you get them all, but they charge $50 a fucking recording.
$50 to send that to you on what? How are they sending that to you?
Email.
So they're charging you $50 to transcode and export that shit via Google Drive and send that because you can't send big snippets in an email. So how are they sending more than 10 megs?
It's the way they have their state laws. I forget what state it is. I want to say.
So they're sending it to you in a Google Drive or something.
They'll send it to you in a file, zip file.
Oh, zip, like an FTP access zip from their FTP.
And it depends on. I'm not saying I've never gotten a Google link. It depends on the state and the agency on how they're going to send it to you. But there is a state. I want to say it's California that they require a credit card and $40 because they charge you $40 to research to see if they're even going to.
But you're talking per poll. You're talking per poll, so that could equate to hundreds of dollars.
Correct.
Yeah,
well, it's per hour is what it is. You pay for the first hour, $40 an hour for them to even see what they've got, and then they'll give you the bill in the end before they give you the information on how many hours they spent at that, and it would be $40 an hour for the research.
Yeah, and then
but they won't provide you access. They won't provide you access to their terminal in their facility, so you can find that information yourself.
Yeah, 100% not. They're not going to give you access to their computer file systems.
So you've got some states that do. They actually have like a online web portal, like Michigan's one of those, and then they send it to you through that.
So in Michigan, you can access your own terminal.
You can, but it's only what they release to you, so it's like your own private terminal. So, but either way it goes, it cost me what $40 something for that info on the magistrate, and then there's states like Texas, cocksuckers, that literally charge you like a per search.
I resent that.
No, they do. You can't get anything for free in Texas. Nothing.
Well, yeah, you're damn right. We believe in capitalism here in the free state of Texas.
Yeah.
See, I find Texas to be one of the easiest ones when it comes to law enforcement. I typically don't have any charge to get like a 911 call or a video. It's up to the agency. I think the state law allows it, but it depends on the agency. I haven't run across. I don't think it's cost me anything to get anything from any state, Texas state agency.
North Carolina charges a boatload.
Yeah. North Carolina charges.
No, South Carolina. What was it that
South Carolina? You have to be
South Carolina.
You have to be a resident to get a FOIA.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
See, I thought the F was for free. I don't know why I got to pay all this money to get this shit.
Yeah.
Free, dumb.
But yeah, South Carolina. Also, Arkansas will give you shit depending on who you get. They'll give you shit for being out of state and requesting.
We call that Arkansas, where I'm at here in Texas.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, we've dealt with Arkansas.
Yes, we have.
That was our very first FOIA.
Yeah, it was.
All right.
Yeah, I don't.
What's up, Michael?
I think his hand's just
Crap! I'm sorry. No, that was right.
Okay.
Like I was looking at stuff. So 2 questions. One is, what form of release are you guys doing? Is it going to be like video or
No, it's just gonna be like
written
redact.
articles?
It's gonna be the documents and obviously some. It's just gonna be in a tweet thread basically. We might do a video on it for other platforms, but as far as X goes, it's just gonna be a tweet thread, I think.
Okay.
That's usually what we do.
And then what does RAV mean? I don't like
Oh,
people are referencing something
Real
I don't know.
America's Voice.
Real America's Voice, yeah. RAV is the news channel. If you're not familiar with them, Real America's Voice.
Yeah.
Great program. Great program. A lot of great journalists on there. Some of which actually were transients from RSBN, if you're familiar with Right Side Broadcasting Network.
Right Side Broadcasting, ironically, it's funny because that kind of like sprung up in Auburn, Alabama, which I have a lot of roots in. But while I was in New York, so I've kind of like crossed paths with these guys a bunch of times, but I've never met them personally.
RSBN is a very big Auburn channel. Yeah, they started it back in those roots in 2016.
Yep, and that's when I was doing my thing up in New York for the Trump people. So yeah, like
I'm a real fan of RSBN. I just wonder what they did to Brian Glenn to make Brian Glenn find another venue. I mean, he was kind of the guy that was there at every event from 2016 to 2022, 2021. And then he just kind of disappeared and moved away to Real America's Voice. And I wonder what happened there. I don't know. Maybe it has something to do with Marjorie Taylor Greene. I don't know, because he's dating her, right? But
wait, what?
Yeah, Real America's Voice, Brian Glenn is dating Marjorie Taylor Greene. Correct.
Either way it goes, me and Jinx were on Real America's Voice, the morning show.
But I really like Brian Glenn. He's great. He's constantly in there in the Oval with Trump. He'll field a question to Trump. Trump will very friendly, answer that question. So it makes me wonder. You see the narrative coming out about Marjorie Taylor Greene in kind of the mainstream, and then you see the friendliness that's occurring between the president and Marjorie Taylor Greene's boyfriend in the Oval Office. So these are questions that you guys have to start asking.
Who else got the hand up? Is that Joe's hand up?
Well, Michael had muted himself. I don't know if
yeah.
Michael was done talking.
Are you done, Michael? Huh?
No, yeah, I was done. Thank you.
Okay, yeah. You
And
muted
Joe, is that a
yourself
hand, Joe?
mid-sentence, by the way.
No, it's not a hand on me.
Okay.
Okay.
Y'all watch the
it's just
stream, you'll see what
talking.
I'm talking about. It's fucking little black circles. I can't even see if it's a hand raise. They could be flipping me off for all I know.
You don't need to get off those PCs and onto some mobile devices.
Well, that's because I'm streaming to all the other platforms. So
You flip Zippy off?
That was Banner.
you do all the time.
Banner.
You do all the
Well,
time.
I didn't do nothing.
Just give you shit.
I'm one of them didn't do nothing.
Yeah. Gotta lay off those.
Oh man.
Just take a breath. Just breathe.
But yeah, those are going to be some interesting drops in the next couple of days. Like I said, we're going to try to get them out, or at least some of them out before Wednesday.
I'm really excited for you guys. I'm just waiting for the day that Sippy gets the Banner H-1B bug and he decides to go full chat on it and pulls the USCIS data and starts to pull emails and stuff. I'm waiting for it. I know it's going to happen, Sippy.
I've actually looked at that data and it pissed me off. So
Yep.
Yeah. I ain't too far away from
I'll
doing
work.
that.
I'll work on it with you, man. It pisses me the hell off too.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy how many H-1Bs are actually
Well, when you look at how many have been issued over the last decade and how many of those have had kids, it's a bad number. People will be astonished when they hear the figure. I mean, you're talking about millions.
Yep.
Yeah.
Ridiculous.
Yep. Jake's
Gonna
one of
get
them.
rid of all the anchor babies and all the.
Well, that's what's happened over the last 20 years. H-1Bs have been allowed to come here, hand over fist in the technology sector, specifically working for finance companies. Happened a lot. I'm speaking from experience here, specifically finance companies recruiting these H-1Bs, and they're having kids. And guess what? Their kids are going. And we're already beyond it. There's no fighting it now. There's no fighting it. Like this is why I'm saying, like, I can shout about it till the cows come home. I can shout to the sky. There's no fighting it, because at the end of the day, they're already here, and your kids are going to be competing against those kids. That's it.
Yeah. You're right.
I
Go
mean,
ahead,
you
first
should.
Jen. Cutting you off, Jake.
Hey, gang. Probably first time y'all saw me or heard from me.
Hey,
I'm
first
bet you
time.
expect I sound like a fucking Asian that I can't speak English, but here I am from Texas, bitches. Joe, good to see you. Jinx, Truth,
Damn it.
Sippy,
Damn H1B. What? Oh.
damn H1B, god damn it. So, as a person who's become a U.S. citizen as of 2021, and I've fought this battle for almost 2 fucking decades, let me just kind of enlighten you on how this shit works. Just because you trying to file for H-1B visa, you don't fucking get that shit automatically. All right? They go through a heavy vetting process. The sponsor, mostly the employers hiring you from overseas, have to put their fucking name on the line. Have to be able to guarantee that you are going to be sponsored under their name for at
Yeah, but
least
I
5
can spin
years.
up a company and vouch for an
Hey,
Sir,
H-1B
Tanner, let him
overnight.
sir,
talk.
I'm talking. I'm talking.
Let him
I'm
talk.
Tanner,
talking.
why do you keep interrupting?
It's my turn to talk, nigga. What the fuck? You interrupting me. You want to hear me? You want to hear from a fucking first person like experience, or you just keep talking smack? You know what
Yes,
I'm
I have
telling you?
first person experience.
All right,
Yeah.
let
Are you
first
from
Jen
a foreign
talk.
country? Are you from a foreign
No,
country?
I work with you
Well, I
fuckers.
am. I am. I am. I've gone through it. So you want to hear it, or you want to just sit there talking shit?
All right, continue.
The
First Jen.
employers have to be willing to put their names on the line, sponsor any applicant for 5 years, financially, criminally, legality. So before they even sign the paperwork for anyone they sponsor to come here, they have to be willing to put their names on the line for 5 years. Meaning you hire, Joe Dirt, whatever his name is from India, right? Coming over here. In the 5 years, they fucked up, they break the law. The employers are liable. They have to be responsible to pay for the legal fees, criminal fees, what the fucking fees, whatever they got themselves into. They have to be responsible for the applicant. Okay. Second of all, just because you have a child in the US, you're not guaranteed a citizenship. You got to go through additional process to become a citizen. I know that because I had a child here back in 2008, and I didn't become a citizen until 2021. I didn't want to. Like, I didn't have a choice. I didn't have a problem being a green card holder, paying taxes, having a job, right? What's the problem? Why I pursued that course? Because I wanted to be able to vote. I wanted to be able to contribute to the democracy, being able to voice my opinion. Trump is my president.
Not a
And
democracy. I'm just saying.
and and as we all know, like in California or New York, right? You get these fuckers who have no paperwork. go in the voting booth and like all these fake votes. And I said, that's bullshit. No, that's not cool. But they made it very clear in your application becoming a US citizen, you cannot vote when you're not a citizen. If you do vote and if you find out, you are automatically ineligible to become a US citizen anytime in the future, period. Do you know that? No, of course not.
Eh,
But that is the thing. But yet, in a state like California and New York and Illinois, Chicago, like they got somehow come with all this like 50,000, 100,000 ballots, and Angel Reyes or what the fuck ever, right? It doesn't make any sense. It's bullshit because it's a slap in the face for people like myself who came here the right way, actually trying to do something to better our life and trying to raise a family and go through the right process. But then again, I I waited 20 years to be able to vote legally, and they didn't. They're just like, we're just gonna put a bunch of people here who are not supposed to be doing it, but it's there when it's time come to the election, right? Somehow overnight you got additional 100,000 votes like that came from nowhere, and they can't account it for because they are a bunch of fucking slimy crooked. My point: there is a process center, my lawyer call it, right? Because when I was going through this whole becoming a citizen bullshit, right? Like I had a tax record. Like I've been here, I was on my green card, I paid taxes, I had a job, I was collecting welfare. But because of some certain shithead administration and their policy, they said, well, you filed the wrong paperwork, basically. Like you filed the wrong paperwork, so now we're gonna deport you. And my lawyer's like, well, they can't technically deport you because, you have a track record to prove that you're not a fucking grifter. You have a child here. And I'm like, well, no, no, no. That's not what I want. I want to make sure that they understand, I'm here because I want to contribute to the fucking country, to the society, right? It's like, let's fight it the right way. And he's like, all right, well, we got a court date like next month. So, okay, the one off of Gears Road in North Houston. It's like, no, there's a special processing center in downtown Houston. It's not disclosed on the internet. Only us lawyers know, and only the people who get summoned there. Like it's not even like anything where like a sign USCIS, nothing like that. And I showed up, we showed up, saw my lawyer, and the whole fucking place was full, like full of people, like even the hallway, right? And I was like, what the fuck's going on, man? He's like, believe it or not, 99.2% of these people here that you see right now, they all came in here through the border illegally, and they all filed for asylum, even though there is nothing going on in their respective country. They all come in here looking for a payout. And you, my friend, you are that 0.8% that came through the right way and tried to do the right thing. And unfortunately, you got fucked. I'm like, great, that's awesome. What's next? Right? By this time, I already had a deportation proceeding on me. They were going to ship me out after being here for over 2 decades. And they said, nope, you filed the wrong paperwork. We're going to deport you. And I was fighting the case. I hired a lawyer, like, all right, let's go. And, I went to a courtroom. The judge was Indian, like, East Indian. And the prosecutor, the USCS prosecutor, was on the table. We were on the table. And, all right, bring me your paperwork, right? And of course, my lawyer talked to this guy, the prosecutor, beforehand. And he's, yeah, whatever. So the judge got the paperwork. He looked up my record. She looked at my record and she's like, she looked at a prosecutor straight in the eye with an accent, Indian accent. Prosecutor, why is this man in my court? And he's like, what do you mean, Judge? Well, he's been here since such and such. He's got proven tax record. He paid taxes. He contributed to society. Why are you trying to deport him? And the judge just looked him straight in the eyes, and all he had to say was, well, Judge, it's a process. He filed wrong paperwork. And the judge said, you wasting my time with this man in my court. He has every right. He has shown that he deserves to be here. Go fix his shit. Get the fuck out of my court. That's it. Court adjourned.
Yeah. Missed opportunity. No, I'm playing.
Well, it's not. It's not, right? It's like by the time we get to that point, before we get to that point, I had to spend tens of thousands of dollars hiring a
Yeah.
lawyer,
Yep.
get paperwork, get documentation, just to prove that, like, look, I'm not here collecting your fucking welfare. I'm here contributing. Like, look at my tax record. Look at my history. Like, I'm not here, like, just coming in here having a baby and I'm good. No, it's not that. That was not my case. And it took one judge to verify the records and said, this is bullshit. Y'all go fix this. Y'all go figure it out. And that was the end of it. Well, not really. It was like another 2 years afterwards. So we had to fight immigration. But at the end, they're like, okay, let's have another I don't know what you call it, exam, civil civic test. Like you go, the process is, right, you try to become a citizen, from having a green card, you got to go in front of the USCIS not enforcer, what do you call it, like they got to you go through the interview process, and they basically they give you a booklet, right, with 100 questions about U.S. government, U.S. civic duty, and all that stuff. And when you go for the interview, the agent asks you 10 questions, any 10 questions out of that 100 questions, and you're required to get 7 out of 10 correct. Second time I went, same with the first time. I got 10 out of 10 correct. And guess what? The second agent was a hard ass. She's like a, older black lady, and like, she was very, reserved, and like, who's this little fucking Chinese motherfucker is trying to get, whatever, right?
China number one.
And
You're not even Chinese.
oh, I'm Asian, that's one thing I was thinking, y'all look alike. But I passed the test, right? And she's like, looking at my paperwork. She's like, you know what? I would recommend you. I would sign off on the recommendation right now to become a citizen, but I just need to make sure I pass it up along a top branch review before I can sign off. But from between you and me, like, dude, you passed, flying color, like you're good to go. And after almost 2 decades of fighting USCIS, I started crying. And the agent looked at me, and she just had me a box of tissue. She's like, I'm not sure why you're crying, but it might be a feeling of being overwhelmed or whatever. But you know what? You have my recommendation. Guys, being a citizen, a US citizen, is not a fucking handout. It's a privilege. Not only that, there are people that come through here illegally and just click the hand out, but there are some of us who come in here and want to make a better life for ourselves and our family. And it's probably my biggest honor of my life to have gone through all of that, because now people talk about it and I can educate them. Like, you know what? I'm not calling you out, man. I'm not trying to make you like look bad or anything, but unless you have actually gone through it, there is a very tedious process in place to make sure that we don't just take in some shitheads that are going to come in here and just, start shooting people and rob people, right? I mean, we want to make sure we got good people in here. And at the same time, I appreciate what I went through, even though it cost me a lot of money and effort and tears. It's like, wow, legit, I was scared of my situation because, just like what's going on these days, like, man, I've done everything I could to prove that I deserve to be here. But still, per the process, I didn't go to the right channel. They could deport me. And I'm afraid that tomorrow they're going to come bang on my door and drag me away from my wife and kid. And what are they going to do?
Yeah.
So I'm very honored to be here with y'all. I'm not calling anybody out. I just want to point out what I went through. And that's the fact, the actual process. Because, like Joe said earlier, I'm sure they try to make sure that we don't get bad apples in here, right? But you get hundreds of thousands of people coming in here and you don't know. It's like you're gambling. Like, if I'm asking you, are you willing to put your signature on the line where, hey, I'm sponsoring, my fiance and her kid moving here from wherever, right? Like, are you willing to guarantee that anything happens in the next 5 to 7 years, anything happens, that you'll be liable financially, criminally, all the expenses is on you? Not many people want to do that. I wouldn't do it. That's all I got to say, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're good, first gen. I've honestly never heard that story before, and I've known you for a while. So.
Yeah, what
Good
the fuck?
story.
The
Appreciate
hell,
it.
first gen?
Been holding out on us.
I know.
Mhm.
But I do have a question though, first gen. So
Yeah, what's up?
say H1B, man, woman, because it only works that way.
Yeah.
And say they have a kid, does that kid get citizenship right off the bat? Or I
No, they
think in the
don't.
past they did,
They don't.
didn't they?
No, they don't.
They
Because
don't?
I had my kid in 2008,
Uh-huh.
right? And I didn't get my citizenship until 2021
Yeah.
after having to go through
Your daughter
the
did.
normal process.
Yeah, but what
Yeah.
about your child?
Hmm?
Does the child get citizenship right off the bat?
Well, if they're born in the U.S.,
The
yes.
answer is yes.
Yeah.
The short
Yes.
answer is yes. They are an Americanized, they're a naturally born American
Yes.
citizen. If an H-1B comes over here, and I'm sorry, I was actually doing the beer run, so I was kind of in and out. I'm sorry, I didn't hear most of what you had to say, first gen. But what happens is the H-1B comes over, they have kids. And this is what used to happen. Birthright citizenship has been abolished by the Supreme Court. So as of what was it, 2 months ago, right? This is not the case anymore. But previously, it used to be the case that an H-1B and their wife or whoever, their significant other, could come over. It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter how the child happens. If the child happens, the child is an American child, and it's a big
Correct.
problem.
Correct. I agree with you on that. But just because you have a child born in the U.S. and the child is the U.S. citizen, you
Yeah, but
still have to go through the process.
the problem that I have with it, first gen, is that we allowed that situation to occur from the get-go, right? The problem that I have with it is that we decided it was okay to import knowledge from overseas and allow that knowledge to have naturally born citizens here in the United States. That's the problem that I have. I have a problem with the flow. I have a problem with that flow that tap even being opened from the beginning.
Right. And that's the catch about it. Even the child's born as a U.S. citizen, if the parents want to become a citizen, they still have to go through the process. And that's what
Yeah, but
took
how
me
many
years.
children of H-1Bs are here today that are going
And
to be
collect,
competing with American children?
Holy fuck,
Connor,
dude.
are you able to let people finish speaking before you interrupt?
That's cool. I was talking with first
do
gen,
you-
not you, but that's fine.
Do you have the capability
Hey,
of
Hawk,
letting them
you
finish?
weren't involved in this. Hey, Hawk, you weren't involved in
No,
this.
but you're aggravating the shit out of
Hey,
me
you
because
weren't
you won't
involved
let
in
him
this,
finish.
Hawk.
muting it for a moment. Can we chill out and not argue? Let's
Yeah.
let people finish what they have to say.
Yeah.
Because we are definitely already over time. So, and Jake has been waiting so very patiently with his hand up. I do want to get to him. Thank you.
So I hear what you're saying, right? It's unfair. I get it. But just
It's
because a
beyond that.
child's born here, just because a child's born here, it doesn't mean they're gonna automatically be taking over the actual U.S. citizen children's job when they grow up. I mean, it all takes skills
That's
and
a fallacy.
schooling, right? And that's the thing about it. It's like, well, people are under this assumption that hey, you come to the U.S., you have a child, then you can automatically become a U.S. citizen. No, that's not how it works. You still have to go through the process, go through the interview and the vetting, all of that stuff. I'm the living proof of that, right? And I'm not. I have never, and I would never
Hang on,
use that basis.
pause for a second,
You let
first, Jen.
Jake talk. I've been hanging up for a while.
I'm
I
getting.
just
I'm
want
going to get
I
to
just want to
Jake.
get
Don't
something
worry.
clear on what First Gen is saying. First Gen, you're saying that just because you had a child, your child was a naturalized U.S. citizen by mere being born in the United States. So your kid was a U.S. citizen before you were technically, but it didn't
Correct.
mean because you had a child that you automatically got your citizenship. You were still had to go through the vetting process. That's what you're saying, right?
Absolutely.
Okay. I think it came across as if your child wasn't automatically a citizen, but I think your child is under the 14th Amendment, born within the jurisdiction or subject to the
It
jurisdiction of the
was.
United States. You're a citizen.
And we as the American public allowed that to happen.
Incapable of letting people speak.
All right.
Wow, what a dick.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Okay. Don't make me bring up my teacher voice. I will. You won't like it.
You won't do it.
All right. I'm going to go to Jake.
Yeah, hi. Wow, so many things I could say, but I'm a man of peace. You know me. I don't like to stir the pot ever.
Liar.
I'll behave because I respect Jinx and Sip a lot, and Truth some, but you know.
No, I don't.
No,
I don't like to stir the pot either, Jake. I don't like to either.
never. I've never seen you do it once. Or Jinx or Sippy, actually. They never do that. It's like the go with the flow kind of people here, you know. No, we're talking about, you know, illegals and all this kind of stuff. It's interesting, you know, to hear from somebody who actually went through the process and you in first gen, much like most people who go through the process, despise the way illegals are handed everything on a silver platter. They're always rushing to try and give amnesty to illegals. Amnesty. I don't care if Abuela has been here since 1979. She still can't speak English. She can go home. You know what I mean? Like these people that have been here, I don't care if they've you know they've been part of the community, but they've never once tried to, you know, become citizens. They just, you know, they've stayed illegal this whole time. I think I know Trump had that executive order on birthright citizenship. Technically, that is supposed to actually be, that one makes sense. You know, his makes sense because that was only supposed to be for, you know, slaves, people who were actually under the jurisdiction of the United States. That shouldn't count. I don't think. I thought H-1Bs, don't they have a different thing? If they have a kid here, their kid doesn't technically qualify right away, or did they just get lumped in with the birthright citizenship thing as well? Go ahead, Joe.
Well, with visas now, and
Yeah.
it's up to the administration of the State Department. Now, visas have you have to agree that if you have a child while visiting the United States, that child is not a U.S. citizen; is a citizen of your citizenship. So it's kind of like a contract they sign when they come in. I believe they do the same thing with H-1B visas. And even the Biden administration started doing that under his administration, oddly enough, with travelers from Asian countries, certain Asian countries. It was they call them baby tourists. You know, you come here the last part of your pregnancy and have a kid. And if you won't agree to that, your child won't be a U.S. citizen, then they will deny your visa. But I think that needs to go across the board. I think that's better than. Here's the other thing: if you go back and we amend the 14th Amendment, that means every one of us, in order to prove that we're citizens, birth certificate no longer is good enough. You're going to need your parents' birth certificate, or you're going to need something else that's going to certify or make you a citizen. So I don't think the Supreme Court's going to rock that down. It would, I see that being very problematic. But I think what Trump is specifically asking for is that unless you have U.S. citizen status, permanent status in the United States, then your child would not be automatically that way.
Well, I think that's kind of the whole point behind it, and I don't think we would have to have everybody's birth certificates, because I mean it's all kind of in the system already.
Really, but how did you prove that you were a citizen?
How would I prove I'm a citizen?
If today I say prove that you have to go get a driver's license, they want to know that you're a citizen. How are you going to prove it?
Right now, today, they would require birth certificate, social security card.
Okay, but now birth certificate no longer valid. Your birth doesn't matter.
Why wouldn't that matter?
If you take away birthright citizenship, you got it too. So did I. We didn't become citizens because our parents were Americans. We become citizens. We were born in within the jurisdiction of the United States, and we have a birth certificate to prove it.
Yeah, but that doesn't apply in our situation, because what that is targeting is those that come here, like you were talking about birth tourism, right?
For them to change it, they would have to you would have to change the definition of the 14th Amendment, which is right now what you need to prove that you're a citizen is prove that you were born in these United States.
And subject
that's the way we do it.
And subject to the jurisdiction of or thereof. So
exactly.
If you're in the jurisdiction, you're in the continental United States, or you're in any territory of the United States, you're subject to the jurisdiction of the United States. So if you're born in Guam, you're technically a U.S. citizen.
Yeah, but the 14th Amendment, when it says those under the jurisdiction, those are the parents, if I'm correct, right?
Yes, yeah.
In the 14th Amendment.
Yeah.
So
no, it's not. That's not the way it's. That's
well,
not the way it is.
That's the argument that's the argument that the Supreme Court is supposed to be hearing, or did they already hear it?
Either going to hear it, or they will hear it if they hadn't heard it already.
But I'm pretty sure that's the argument.
The one I think Trump's not going to win. I think that they will not tamper with birthright citizenship. They may allow him under the executive branch because he can control who comes and goes out of the United States. They can codify the fact that he can require, if you're here on a visa to see Disneyland, if you have a kid while you're here, take your kid back to Japan, wherever you came from. It's not a U.S. citizen.
It's pretty much any immigration regulation becomes.
If your status is not citizen of the United States, then your being in the United States is subject to the State Department and the president.
Any regulation, any immigration regulation that is up for interpretation is just that.
Yeah.
There you go.
How much longer are we going, Jinx?
Oh no, so
I think we're at a good spot to stop, unless anyone had anything else that they wanted to say. We close it out.
I do. We are live on Rumble, Twitch, YouTube, X on my account. So go follow us on those. Also we have a merch store. Also I have an app. If y'all want to dig through the Epstein files yourself, the app can do it. Well, the paid version can. Free version, it'd be pretty rough trying to go through them. Yeah, it'd take a while, but that's by design. But yeah, JinxedSip.com. Go to it. All our links are there. Enjoy it. Love it. If you have Twitch Prime subs, give us your Twitch Prime sub because it doesn't cost you anything. If you have Amazon Prime, you have a Twitch Prime sub. Yeah.
Help us pay for those FOIAs.
Right. We've made a whole. I think we made a whole like $6 so far through all the platforms.
Woo!
Woo woo.
$6.
For like a quarter of a FOIA.
Yeah.
It's a grind, folks. It's a grind. Keep grinding.
It is a grind.
It is. But if you like my political cartoons, that's what a lot of our merch is my political cartoons. So
Yeah, you'll like the
Fun
like the
stuff.
political cartoons, and it's about to get cold outside, and you might want to put Sippy
Just
on
need to
your
find
face.
some conservatives with some deep pockets. That's all you guys need to do.
Yeah.
Yep. Start
We're
emptying those
looking at
pockets.
we're looking at you, Banner.
Hey, motherfucker, my pockets are emptying. I've got some people
Now,
I'm
bullshit.
emptying.
You don't tell me you live in Dallas and you're surrounded by H-1B visa holders and tell me that your pockets are empty. There's a big houses up there.
I
That's why
just
your
I
echo
just
is
told you,
fine.
motherfucker, I am bleeding out right here, giving away to all these conservative influencers.
Oh my goodness.
I can give you a list of 10 right now that I've been given to.
There's only one that I'm concerned with.
And let me ask you
Hey,
this question:
Jay.
Have you?
Oh,
And let me
Hey,
ask you this
Jill.
question: Has the rest of the listeners put their money where their mouth is? If you have money, you should be putting it where your mouth is for our conservative cause, for our conservative influencers, for these people who are putting their necks out on the line. You should be giving money to them. You should be. If you're sitting on the sidelines and you're making good coin and you have a few dollars to give away, these are the type of people, Miss Jinx, Sippy, some of the other influencers I don't want to mention because it's not their space. But at the end of the day, you guys should be contributing to those folks because we need to be putting our money where our mouth is.
There you go.
No, appreciate that, Banner. All right, we're going to close out here. We will reconvene again for our Wednesday space, 6 Pacific, 9 Eastern, or if you're Sippy, 8 o'clock.
God's time.
And it'll be a host on Sippy's account. So make sure you're following him. He should put out the post for it tomorrow with the reminder, not
And
less than 24 hours before.
It will be live streamed on Jinx.
No, I'm not following Sippy because Sippy don't follow back. I did follow him. I figured as a fellow.
Getting called out, Sippy.
infantryman.
I'll get called out.
I figured as a fellow infantryman that we would have a bond, even though you were in the army, you weren't ready to be a real Marine yet. But no.
I tried to
No,
join.
he's calling you out. He's calling you out double fold.
Yeah, I tried
Sippy,
to
that
join.
Marines
it's not that
follow
actually.
me.
I did
Didn't
try
say I
to.
follow back.
I did try to.
That's not the problem, Corey. Sippy just doesn't particularly care for crayons.
Yeah, I actually
But
did
you
try
don't
to
have
join
to
the
care for
Marines.
crayons. I like crayons, and I eat them all for you. But
That's
I
why
actually
he wasn't
tried.
saying he doesn't care
Oh
for
my God.
crayons.
I actually tried to join the Marines, and they didn't call me back until after I got out of basic training for the Army. So
You didn't eat enough crayons.
Well,
apparently not.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. At least you joined. Everyone, the funniest stories. I think even when the Army, Navy, I almost joined, but I wasn't gonna get yelled at by them people. I almost joined. I was gonna join.
Oh, I love the
We were
almost
like, yeah,
joined
really.
ones.
I was highly recruited.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
Well, I'm not a veteran, but I'm married to one, so
There you go.
Bunch
I'm
of
better than
retards on here.
That is true. It is true.
All righty, everybody. We'll see you guys on Wednesday. And keep your eyes peeled for those Epstein drops. They'll probably come from both of our accounts. We try to trade off.
Yeah, we'll try to stagger them.
I'm going to be looking for those FOIAs.
Well, they're coming. All right. Have a great week, everybody. See you all on Wednesday.
Stay safe.
Absolutely.
See y'all.